Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Kickoff is going to be here in just a couple minutes. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. And we went through an amazing first game with the Pittsburgh Steelers beating up on the Cincinnati Bengals 34-11. I don't know if anyone anticipated that, especially with Mason Rudolph, being the quarterback. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Christmas and Rudolph and all of that kind of connection. But that was very surprising to be able to see Rudolph not only play well, but George Pickens to have a career day. Now, I don't know how many people that are in the fantasy playoffs that have George Pickens, but if you are in the playoffs in fantasy and had George Pickens, you might be on your way to being able to win, week number 2 to advance to the championship if you have him on the roster. I don't have him on my roster, so I wasn't able to really take advantage of that George Pickens love. But, for a guy that doesn't want to block, for a guy that, might have a little bit more me, a little bit more diva, a little bit more me than team type of attitude, when you're losing, that gets magnified. And they're saying, why isn't this guy blocking for Jalen Warren and Najee? And he says, well, I don't want to get rolled up on like Tank Dell. I get it. But a lot of times it felt like you were quitting on plays. And we remember, when you quit on plays, it doesn't matter if you're George Pickens or if you're a Hall of Famer like Randy Moss when he was on the Raiders. When you take plays off, people don't fucking forget. And Pickens is one of those guys that got that OBJ type of talent. He's a good route runner. He's got good footwork. He can do the toe drag swag. He's got amazing hands, amazing speed. But no matter who the quarterback was, Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, they didn't really like to go deep. And what the Steelers need is to be able to have someone like Big Ben to go deep. Mason Rudolph is like, fuck it. I'm like Jameis. I'm going to turn the ball over and fuck up. But if I'm going to fuck up, might as well go deep and fuck up. And then once in a while, I'll end up connecting on a big touchdown. And that's why sometimes we'll see Jameis, to Chris Olave, Jameis to Rashid Shaheed. And you're like, oh my God, right? And you got that Mason Rudolph kind of play of the day today. And George Pickens almost getting 200 yards receiving. Shout out to you. Still, I think you're a little immature, with everything that's going, down there in Pittsburgh. But you did have a career day, and the Pittsburgh Steelers fans are going to be very, very happy to be able to get a win right before Christmas because of Rudolph. And then for the Cincinnati Bengals, that one was tough. I mean, it was like if you had Jake Browning and you started him in fantasy, everything that you thought was going to probably happen didn't happen. A lot of people had the Bengals winning on the road. A lot of the numbers for the superstars were very, very down, except for T. Higgins. And you didn't have Jamar Chase play. Tough loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. Big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go, baby. We got Bills. We got Chargers. And we already know the Bills are heavy favorites. They're favored by 12. Easton Stick has not looked good at the backup quarterback position. Keenan Allen is out. Justin Herbert is out. So we know that Buffalo more than likely is going to get the dub. But you never know. You never know. Maybe Josh Allen has a little bit of an off game because this is a trap game. Maybe James Cook doesn't cook as often as he was cooking last week. We will find out. I know me and Reflect are both going against people that have the Buffalo Bills. I'm going against Chief Chief. He's got Josh Allen, the number 1 quarterback in fantasy. And we're battling it out to move on to the championship round. And I know Reflect is going against Faux King Money. Faux King Money's got James Cook. So this is going to be something that me and Reflect are going to be watching very, very closely. And I hope it ends up being a good game. Michael in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Thumbnail took a little bit of time, but I figured, you know what? I haven't been able to do too many defensive players, and I was going to do either Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, or Asante Samuel Jr., and I thought, you know what? I haven't done Joey Bosa in a long time, and let alone I haven't done Joey Bosa this way with this type of image. So I said, you know what? Let's go for Joey Bosa today. We know he gets injury prone type of player. He gets banged up quite a bit, but hey, let's throw up a defensive guy on here since Justin Herbert isn't playing. And then I had to go with either Josh Allen or James Cook. Figured let's go with Josh Allen today. Next thumbnail that the Bills do, we'll maybe go with the James Cook, and he'll be cooking. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Ryan in the building. What's good? How is work? How is traveling on the road? Hope you're doing well. Game is exclusively on Peacock. Obviously, it looks like Michael in the first comment is upset for spending money on Sunday Ticket and having local TV, but that's really what it comes down to. You know, a lot of times you're going to have to watch things on NFL Network. Sometimes it'll be NBC. Sometimes it's going to be ESPN. And as we get bigger and bigger with these streaming platforms, there's just going to be more opportunities, you know, for these platforms to buy the NFL and buy certain events, whether it be wrestling, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it may be. And as we know in MLB, they like to do Apple TV exclusives, and it's just a part of life now. You know, before you used to be able to get away with just cable and maybe satellite, right? Now it's like you might have cable and satellite. Maybe you don't have either one, and all you have is streaming platforms because it's cheaper. But it only gets cheaper if you have like one. And how many people only have one? Not many. Most people are going to have Netflix. You know, they're going to have Amazon Prime. They're going to have Hulu, maybe Apple TV, and, you know, and then maybe Peacock. And the main thing is for Michael, and I don't know if, you know, for me, this is just me taking a guess, but if you're a wrestling fan of WWE, this isn't a problem because you already subscribe to Peacock, you know, every month for $5 a month or $10 a month to watch the WWE pay-per-views every month. So if you're a wrestling fan, you're a football fan. If you're a football fan, you're a wrestling fan. But I guess maybe some people like Michael aren't wrestling fans. And if you're not a wrestling fan, then you don't have Peacock today. But it only costs $5. I mean, that's not very much. So let's go, baby. Appreciate Cyber and Sarah helping out on the shares. Appreciate you. Let's go. The NFL is just so fucking bananas and crazy. Like anytime you think that you have a grasp, you know, even like with people here on the channel with the Fanatics, like I feel that we read a lot more. We watch more games. I think that we're more educated and we have, you know, more background, not only on the older days, you know, from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but also current. And that's what happens when you have a fan base globally here on NWSF that is anywhere from 10 years old all the way up to 90. Not all fans are created equal, but I feel that, you know, with us here, you know, we have a little bit more of a pulse on maybe what's going on because we're watching more and reading more. But I don't know how many people predicted George Pickens having his career day, and it wasn't with Kenny Pickett. It wasn't with Mitchell Trubisky, but with Mason Rudolph. And if you go back, you know, a couple years when he was backing up Big Ben, he was considered the worst backup quarterback in the NFL, second string or third string. So way to have Mason Rudolph, you know, have a fucking happy holiday for everyone in Pittsburgh. I haven't seen Pittsburgh fans cheer like that in fucking years since they had Big Ben. That was pretty cool. Now, it would have been awesome to have George Pickens in my fantasy, but even if I did, I wouldn't have started him, you know, because that's just too risky, especially if I got guys like Amon-Ra, Jay Jetta, you know, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, those types. So, but to anyone that did start George Pickens, I salute to you. Let's go. Happy holidays. Let's go, baby. And I got plenty of logos here. We got this Charger logo. I got this spinning Charger logo with the Chargers and the wording down below. And obviously with the Buffalo Bills. Let's go, baby. And here we go. Touchback. Let me refresh everything here. All right, baby. Scoreboard is ready. Josh Allen, you are the man. James Cook, you're the man. Thank God they fired Ken Dorsey. Gabe Davis, get him involved. Shakur, underrated. Stephon Diggs, I see you. Dalton Kincaid, I see you. Deion Dawkins, Connor McGovern. This offensive line needs some fucking work, you know, and they have gotten better, you know, with a little bit of the chemistry. But if you're looking at a lot of those names, that whole offensive line could be just retooled and revamped. But one thing that's good, Ken Dorsey out, Joe Brady in, and it feels like the Buffalo Bills are the hottest team on the outside looking in. Shotgun set, screen pass, pass is low, incomplete to Diggs. Let's go, baby. I don't think that was just a nice win. That was to stop the bleeding. Let's save our Christmas and save our fan base type of win. And let's save Mike Tomlin's job. I think his job was never in jeopardy, but I know some people are like, oh, he might get fired. Belichick might get fired. Oh, Tomlin might get fired. I highly doubt it. Those two guys are fucking legends. They're first ballot Hall of Famers. And if the franchises were dumb enough to get rid of both, do you really think they're going to be able to bring someone as good? I think with Belichick, you just need better players, especially a franchise quarterback that can move the ball. Doesn't have to be Tom Brady, but if it ends up being Drake May and it gets him to 10 wins within the first 2 years, then that will save Bill's job if he wants to stay there in New England. Or maybe Kraft is like, fuck it. You've earned the right with all the Super Bowls and the wins, right, to stay as long as you want until you're ready to go. There we go. First down, Bills. Move the chains. Hopefully Josh Allen doesn't go off for like 40 or 50 because I did get lucky with Chief Old Chief. He definitely shit the bed with his kicker as well as his defense. -5 with that Saints D against the Rams. I wouldn't have played them. And he only got 3 out of McPherson. So he was sitting at -2 going in with 7 guys to play. I like that. Let's go. Frozen sausage mushroom pizza. With the sausage and the mushroom. That sounds good. Sounds good. I ended up going to Safeway, just get some last minute things, gift card type stuff. What else did I do? Petco for Paisley. So I got her Christmas, little treats and whatnot. So I had to definitely take care of her. And, definitely got my walks in already. It's been very foggy here in the Pacific Northwest. You can barely see, but I've gone on 2 hours of walks already. So I'm feeling pretty good. And then after this game, me and Paisley will go on an adventure in the middle of the night. 2nd down and 8. Allen, play action fake. Blitz coming. Wide open. And complete. I don't think New England's going to let Belichick go. It's all rumors. They can say that, but until it actually officially happens, it's all rumors. I mean, obviously, as a Charger fan, you would be interested in that because then if you can get Bill and then maybe he can bring in Josh McDaniels and Bill's the head coach, McDaniels the OC, that would help solve a lot of problems for your team, but it wouldn't solve the injury curse that, plagues your team year in and year out. But at least you got one thing fixed, with the coaching staff if that were to happen. Shotgun set. Allen. And complete. Leonard Fournette. But I highly doubt that they're going to let go. I highly doubt they're going to let go of Bill or with Mike Tomlin. I mean, these guys are fucking living legends. You're not going to get guys like this, in the next coaching, circle around. Like you might have to go 10, 15 years before you find another coach like those two. It might even be longer, And we know the Pittsburgh Steelers don't get rid of their coaches. I mean, hell, they've had 3 coaches for like 50 years, like Chuck Noll, right? We already know with that era, the Mike Tomlin era, we already know about that one. And Bill Cowher and the Cowher era, baby. That was a big stop. Cowher, I like his personality. Like sometimes when you see these coaches, like the Jimmy Johnson from back in the day, the Bill Cowher, it reminds you of like that legendary kind of aura and vibe. Those guys kind of give me Chip Kelly vibes. Like you just look at them and you just know that you're going to be a contender, based on the respect that they demand and the results that they get year in and year out. Man in motion, Easton stick. I hope he doesn't shit the bed like he did last time. Screen pass. And the more you get Austin Eckler involved in this game, the better chance you have to upset the Bills or to keep it close. And you're going to have a fumble, a pick six, maybe a punt return or a kick return for a touchdown. They're going to need something extra to benefit this offense because we know the offense is not good. No Herbert, no Keenan Allen. Easton Stick is not good. One of the bottom 10 backups in the league, in my opinion. So they're going to need heavy Eckler. Anybody that's in the receiving game needs to step up, and then the defense needs to make plays, and special teams needs to win out. Hand off with a little toss. There we go. First down, Chargers. Move the chains. Let's go. Let's go Kraken. Let's go. And we also got Washington, or not Washington, but Utah going against Northwestern as well. Handoff. Good tackle there by Buffalo. Russo, baby. All right, let me get the Kraken set up here too. Blazers play the Warriors tonight as well. Kraken got the Anaheim Ducks, and guess what? The Kraken's going to win. Defend the deep, release the Kraken. Do we got Joey and net? I assume we do. All right, I got it up. Stick. Laser. Quentin Johnson, first down, Chargers. And he's been a disappointment. I think, based on how high they drafted him, there's been many other receivers that have exceeded him. He's had a lot of drops. What happened to my hands? He's not a part of the hands team. And honestly, out of all of the rookie wide receivers, he might be the worst one, and part of it is coaching. But, and it's not necessarily Herbert. Herbert's given him chances. But when you also have other guys that are out like Mike Williams, you got to take advantage when you got a number 2 receiver that's out that gets the ball a lot. So if it's Keenan Allen and then Keenan Allen gets hurt, then all you got to do is compete with like Joshua Palmer and a few others. And I just feel with Quentin, you were great in college, but you haven't really panned out. And it's still early. You still have a couple more years to prove yourself. But I'm not really liking what I see out of him. Celtics demolished the Clippers, he says. Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's go. Yes, I love it. I love the Christmas baking. Anything that has to do with the Kraken, I'm all over it. I mean, if it's, doing something with like Dornbeckers for kids, if they're doing St. Jude's, if they're doing something to help, animals with like dogs and cats, if they're baking stuff or helping the less fortunate, or just doing something for fundraising. Yeah, I'm all about that life. So I do appreciate that. And obviously that Jim Zorn Largent photo I've been able to pull up on the stream before. But sometimes when I see stuff like that on my timeline that I don't see every day, maybe once a month, then I'll send something to the people, that are associated with that team. So I thought that was a pretty cool one. Even though you've seen it already and I've seen it already, it's still one of the most iconic Zorn and Largent photos. And on top of that, autographed. Nice catch. First down, Chargers. Move the chains. Yes. I got it on right now. Less than 16 minutes to go in the first period, 0-0. So it looks like I'll be calling 2 games at once. Kraken and Ducks, Chargers and Bills, baby. And at some point, I got to turn the Blazer game on. So I'll be watching like 3 or 4 things at once. So, yeah, that's actually one of my favorite photos. And then just the fact that it's signed, like, it's so cool. Like promotional photo. And, yeah, it's just a really neat one. That would be really cool to be able to have like framed on the desk or hanging up in your study or in your computer room, very neat. And I don't get that stuff on my timeline that often. You know what I mean? Is there Seahawk people, that I follow like on Twitter and Instagram that were like friends, mutual? Yeah, but again, I just don't see stuff like that. And if you were going to see something like that, it normally would be Largent, not necessarily Zorn. And this one is Zorn and Largent, and it's autographed, and it's like one of those like promo photos, which is so cool. Anytime if you're like wearing jeans with the jersey or whatever it may be, something a little different, it makes it cooler. Going long, going deep, one-handed attempt, incomplete. That was Keenan Allen, maybe he catches that. If that's Mike Williams, maybe he catches that. And that wasn't really the receiver's fault. I think it was just overthrown, but my buddy's been sending me videos of PlayStation 5, Spider-Man, and Madden so far. He's getting Mortal Kombat soon. And my God, if I had a PS5, you probably wouldn't see me for a week. Nice catch. First down, Chargers. Like, I don't know what's cooler on PS5, the graphics or the controls, just based on how smooth the frame rate is. But, I can't afford it. But maybe one day in 2 years, I'll be able to get one, at least by the time maybe when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. What a catch right here. The mini helmet. I got some mini helmets on my desk here. I got a mini helmet, Ducks and Buccaneers here on my desk next to my PS2. Throwback. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Hit that sideline. Odin's son in the building. He says, I will get it started because I love Doggy Dog. Thank you so much, man. Odin's son, the original OG, the guy that will never run away, the guy that will always be here, a brother from another mother, the first person that ever donated big that believed in me. Odin's son. Appreciate you, my brother. We had that bond early, before all the other like goats and all the other Fanatic family members like got together. You were like the first brother, you were like the first brother of the person that we didn't personally know each other, but then the bond started to form. It's like, oh, you have my number, I got your number, we can message or we can talk on socials or whatever if we want to go that route. But I appreciate you, man. You the man. Your boy's got a lot of bills. And I like to be able to, get things for Paisley for Christmas and whatnot, too. So I appreciate you very, very much. Shotgun set, 3rd down and goal. Stick, pump fake. Look for a man. Throw it away. Incomplete. Look who it is. It's Odin's son. Bang, bang, bang. We got to put the Chief logo up there. We can't have the Charger logo spinning when we're doing the dono. There we go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. How about a little bit of Cactus Jack? My boy, the original OG, Odin's son. $50 holla. Bang, bang. Appreciate you, brother. Means a lot. Ryan with a tenner. He's stepping up his game. He said, I couldn't donate before, O-Dog, because I was poor and I didn't have any fucking money. Now I got a kid. My responsibilities are heightened and I got a better job. But even though I got to spend more money on the family and myself and my kid, I got a little bit for you too while riding in work on the road. I appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Charger Celtic super fan Ryan Werner. I appreciate you. Happy holidays. Bang, bang. And now we have to go back to the Charger one since he is a Charger fan. Appreciate you. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. You competing AFC West members that have that rivalry, let me know. And I got you guys. 3-0 Chargers. 60 doll hairs. Let's get to a hundo. Let's do it. James in the building. What's good? Ooh, Christmas surprise. She says, I'm going to get you something cracking. My asp is strong. Let's go, baby. 3-0 Chargers. I love that Joey Bosa. That one took me a while to be able to get right. It's like when you end up, trying to make thumbnails, people don't realize when you use the programs like Photoshop or you're using like Pixel Style, it's not as simple as just dropping a photo into the bucket and then all of a sudden it magically does it for you. Some programs do it a little differently, but sometimes you have to like expand the image different directions just to get it to come up perfectly. Otherwise, it's distorted. And sometimes it takes an hour and a half, to get it right. And that one was worth it. Just like you guys are worth it. I appreciate you. Megan says, I got a surprise for you next week. Ryan's got some photo opportunities. Odin's got some photo opportunities. Appreciate you, my guy. Well, first, let's start it off with the happy holidays. And we'll start it off with a little Bray Wyatt. So who's not a Bray Wyatt fan? Nobody. Everyone is. So we started off there. We got to make sure we're doing this right. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. The Wyatt family. Most underrated and underutilized faction of all time. Besides Undisputed Era. They dropped the bag on that one too. What could have been if Undisputed Era and Triple H had control sooner, what we could have seen on the main roster. Believe that. Fournette. Look at Fournette run. He's like, remember me on the Buccaneers? Oh, yeah. The mask, the lantern, the vibe. This was the most original character since Undertaker. Then they fumbled the bag with it because the mask was too scary. It was too scary for the kids. Bullshit. That was too scary for the kids. Perfect. Exactly what the kids needed. And the adults. He's a famous wrestler that died a few months ago at a very, 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 very too young of an age. Like literally probably still had, if he wanted to, another 10 or 15 years. So that's why we're paying homage to Bray Wyatt, because that's his favorite. It's one of his favorites, and it's one of my favorites. And I know Sarah, if you're a wrestling fan, everyone, yeah. And we know that you don't follow the wrestling that much, but I got to make sure I give the favorites to everyone in the room, whatever they may be. 3-0 Chargers. See what James Cook can do. So it's a bunch of people with different roles tonight, including this man, 42 years old. Yeah, Ansley basically said, I went to the players. I went to the leaders. Like, all right, see if I can squeeze one more in here for Odin's son. So squeezing it in. That's what you do. You just make the most of your time. 3-0 Los Angeles. 0-0 Kraken. Bray Wyatt. Let's go. Allen. Laser. Gabe Davis, first down, Bills. Move the chains. I think, what's funny? As soon as I saw that was starting to form, I thought of you. I was like, ooh, I bet he's gonna like that. Because you can tell, like, not all of us are gonna like the same type of wrestlers of like, an average fan or someone that's just, like on the bandwagon thing. Like you're going to have like the bandwagon people that are like, oh, Roman Reigns. But we're not like that. Sometimes we'll like people that maybe aren't as popular, some of the guys that are in the middle or undercard, but we have that appreciation and love for some of those people. The underdogs. Doesn't have to be like the person with the belt. Doesn't have to be the most popular, just like someone that we like. Oh, the Tatum. Are you on the road right now? What's your location? Sir? Sir Werner? 1040. We need your location, Ron Werner. He said, I'm on the I-90. Khalil Mack, 15 sack lunches, 15 tackles for loss. Career year for him. So with all the bad injuries and all the underwhelming play, at least you have a guy that you can be proud of this season that is like having a historic year, especially at his age. Because let's be honest, most people were like, oh, Khalil Mack, you're like, yeah, he was good, but he's not really that good anymore. That's the perception. And then when you have seasons like that, 10 to 20 sacks, you're like, listen, bitch, I haven't fucking retired yet. I'm still here. Yeah, our team sucks, but I'm still one of the best. And even if you don't think so anymore, I'll prove it to you. And I like seeing that. When you got guys that are, first ballot Hall of Fame guys, but they're at the end of the career, people start giving up on him. That guy's old. He probably only has 3 sacks. And then you look at the stats and he's got 15 and you're like, oh, wow, I haven't been watching games. Well, no shit. Bills, Allen, and complete. Let me squeeze in. Let me do some squeezing here. Steps up and threw, had somebody wide open and just missed the throw. I thought this was going to be a catch and run for about 50 yards. I was thinking the same thing. I was looking up to see if anybody was back there. Bills with the punt. I need some of this, baby. That's a bright spot right there. Diamond in the rough. Like, not only did you get a guy, like you got a guy moving forward, and you never have to worry. So that's always a good feeling. Pacheco, Pacheco, Pacheco. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And then can I please get this Patrick Mahomes, the gunslinger? I'm in the fantasy playoffs, and I'm potentially gonna play you, not this week, but if I win, then in the last 2 weeks. So give me some confidence playing you over Baker Mayfield. Come on now. Rudolph said, I'm going to George Pickens. Talk about body control, keeping the speed in balance right here. Really impressive. Nice to see that offense pick up. Pickens. Let's go, baby. Travis Kelce, TK all day, baby. All right, let's look for some Tatum. And so 290 yards from Mason Rudolph, 195 of that to George Pickens. What I love too is the Steelers team said we're ignoring the noise. Yeah. We don't care what everybody else is saying. Let's see. One of those biggest touchdowns, the first guy there, Jalen Ward, full speed, right, jumping up with him. So you love to see that. Yeah, they came out, I think right away we all watch it. Whoa. But Pittsburgh is playing physical and looked like they were in fast forward compared to Cincinnati. So what does this do to the playoff picture? Not good for the Cincinnati Bengals. As you can see, they dropped from 6 before the game. Now they're 10th and currently out of the playoff picture. Indianapolis and Houston currently have those last 2 spots. Buffalo controls its own path. It can clinch by winning out. As for the Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs, they can clinch first this weekend. So that is the playoff picture as it is right now. Will change just a couple hours from now. That is it for the Capital One studio update. Open up the world of possibilities with Capital One. What is in your wallet? Mike, we send it back to you.
And now this look at the alma mater for these quarterbacks is brought to you by Capital One. We're talking a couple of guys put out the mountains, Wyoming and North Dakota. Josh Allen and Eastern State. Beautiful states. Look at the population.
All right. I got to do it right. Boom, Celtics logo. You can't just half-ass it, you know. Oh yeah. Is this the year? Did they make it to the finals this year? Handoff. Eckler falls over himself. Gain of 2.
Really was, and he was talking about Phillip Rivers and what an impact he had. But he was sort of like Peyton Manning. He ran everything. In the meetings, he was telling everybody he's pulling out footage from 2008, what they all had to do.
He said, "I'm fucking good. I'm Jason Tatum." Oh, something like that. 2nd down and 9. Shotgun set. Stick. Flag on the play. Holding. Coming back, baby. He says, yeet. It's kind of good.
Indicating over to the Buffalo side what they want to do with this one. Illegal shift off of number 28, ruled by another player.
With the colorful shoes.
Stay with that point. Go back to Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator we mentioned earlier. What Kellen tell us this week? These 3 weeks are Easton Stick. This is his Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Stick for this guy.
It really is. And Easton didn't even look at it like that. I may get one day.
I got the poster waiting for you, though, here. Trust me. Shotgun set. Stick. 2nd down and 14. Get rid of it. Nice throw. Right into the defense. Intercepted. Oh, baby. LeBron James. They are young there, as you can see. On my birthday. I got one more. Appreciate you, Dono. $10. And you want some Tatum? You get Tatum on LeBron. What's better than that? That's electric, baby.
Was going to have all that entire half of the field to himself, and yet on the other side, to offset the interception, there it was.
Keep me busy. Great save. Shit, Joey keeps playing like Joey. That might be my fucking first jersey. I can't afford to get a jersey, but if I get one, shit, there's a good, I mean, I got to be able to see more. You know, I got to see how this season kind of plays out. But if it plays out like he's the number one moving forward and he keeps playing well and he gets us to 500 and above 500 and we can have a nice like playoff push, that would be very exciting. Someone needs to step up with shit. We got 3 of them. All 3 of them can't suck. You know, we got to find a way to have at least one be good. Nice. Let me know what you want to do for more photos, Odin's son and Ryan. It could be, you know, whatever. It could be like music related. I mean, shit, I guess it could be like your favorite team and like wrestler and football stuff. Less than 7 minutes left in the first period. Kraken 0, Ducks 0. Let's go, Kraken. Release the Kraken. Defend the deep. Let's get a couple opportunities here. Let's go. We just scored. Yeah, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Man, I love those whites. Those are my favorite. Obviously, the Winter Classic are incredible. Like if I was like rich, oh, I'm definitely buying one of those motherfuckers. Those Winter Classic fucking long sleeve jersey jump offs, you know, replicating like the old school Seattle team from like, you know, the early teens, like 1915, like recreated the S. Very cool. Very stylish. Way better than Vegas's. Vegas's looks like some fucking, I don't know. Looks like some used clothing store knockoff weird jersey. Like does not look stylish at all. We won the battle there. And then it's gonna be very cool to see. I'm gonna watch. Obviously, we'll have the big bowl games, you know, going on with like Washington and Texas, as well as Michigan and Bama, since they're doing the Winter Classic outside the same day. But I will be watching. It'll be awesome. The Metropolitans. Very cool. I love it when they always like pay homage to like the old school stuff. Or it's like if the Mariners do like a Negro League tribute, or they go back in time and, you know, they're showing love or praise to another league that doesn't exist, or, you know, some special story about a special player or situation. Very cool. I like that type of stuff. The early part of the history in the NHL or the MLB, NBA, NFL. I mean, NBA isn't really as good as it used to be, but still has a really cool history. 3-0 Chargers. Let's look at my fantasy action here. Mr. Odin's son is making sure that O-Dog doesn't eat any fingernails for dinner, so that is good. Same thing with Ryan. I appreciate that. It's always good that, you know, as long as I can get shit paid, and I don't care about me, you know, like buying shit for myself. I'd rather just, you know, everything goes to Paisley and just making sure that I can continue the dream. Big defensive injuries. Daquan Jones, see you later. Matt Milano, fuck my life. Tre'Davious White, damn, we're going to suck. Micah Hyde, not good. It's like fucking a quarter of your defense right there. Almost half. 4 guys? No wonder Buffalo was ass booty cheeks for, you know, that kind of like second part of the season after like, I don't know what, the first 3 weeks. And you're like, uh-oh, not looking good. I mean, shit, I would know. I had their defense, and then I was like, oh, fuck no. I was like, there's no way. I was like, if they did that the year before, if you had them for like the first month, or first couple of weeks, you're like, oh shit, 10 to 25 points on defense. You're like, oh, these motherfuckers are good. And then instead of being a top 5 defense, injuries, and then you're like, oh shit, these guys really suck. It's like, I get it, you're the Buffalo Bills, but just because you got Josh Allen and the defense sucks, I'm not going to roster you just because you're the Buffalo Bills. I got to be smart. But I have enjoyed them in the last month or so. I feel like I was kind of like anti-Josh Allen. Too many turnovers for me, but I respected his game being top 5. Just wanted him to clean it up a little bit and, have them listen and get like a fucking running back that's top 10. Fumble, coughed it up. Chargers recover, flag on the play. But I find myself now with Burrow being injured and AR and Cousins and Mahomes not playing well, Jalen having a first place schedule, not playing well. Like, there's not really a lot of people that are playing good at quarterback. And for a while, it felt like it was just backup quarterbacks that were outplaying the starters, like Jake Browning, except for today. So to see Josh Allen like turn it on, as being a guy that was maybe in the top 5 that I like the least, now I'm finding myself like wanting to root for him the most because I want to see history made. And I know that, the defense can only take him so far, but I think it would be good to have him in the playoffs. It's like, I want him, Josh Allen, rather than a backup quarterback. No offense, but I mean, if a team is going to go down and I'm going to be watching playoff games, I don't know. I just, Josh Allen or Jake Browning. And Jake Browning's been playing great, but I think people are going to enjoy the Josh Allen a little more. You're either rooting for him or you're rooting against him. But he's a good player. Just kind of sloppy in the fourth quarter, stares down receivers too much, goes deep too much, goes to Diggs too much. Coaching could be better, but they don't have Dorsey now, so Cook is cooking, so I like that. They're much better with the firing of Dorsey. And defense still is kind of ass, but they're being able to hide some of their, key holes in the lineup with the backups that are just playing kind of average, but every once in a while you're getting splash plays from like the backups. So, 3-0. That's good for my fantasy, I think. David Chappelle, no relation to Dave, supposedly. I like. That's a dope one, dude. My one of my best friends, Joey Gomez, has that exact jersey. Yeah. Like, I'm a duck, you know what I mean? But if I were to buy, very cool. If I were to buy, it would be something like that. I probably would go for the white Herbert though. It's not like I have certain colors that I'm wearing, and it's like I feel like I'm doing a disservice. But I don't know. For me, I just like white jerseys more than the colored jerseys because I think they're swaggier. Less people have them. They pop more, and they're more rare. And like I said, yeah, you'll fuck them up if you have beer on it or liquor or ketchup, mustard. If you're a sloppy ass eater or you just get fucking hammered and you drink a lot and you eat and shit happens. I mean, it happens to me. Like, shit, I probably look down and I could probably see at least a stain somewhere. You never know. But the white is definitely stains. But it also depends too if you have a color like a home jersey where you have a color. If it's a blue or a red or a green or black, whatever it may be. If it looks good and it's stylish, then that's going to obviously pop as well. But they definitely make more of the colored jerseys than the whites. I think whites are more rare. Just something about them, man. And then I think when you get the white, then you get the signature color of the team that you want on the front and back and on the sides. And if it's a cool color, the combination of having it mostly white with something like a Kraken blue, that pops with like the S. I don't know. It just like you see that like a mile away. And then the other one is kind of like, darkish blue, and if you have the teal on there, it still looks good and it pops, but it just seems like it blends in a little more. But when you get something that's mostly white, you could be at the grocery store, you could be at the game, you could be at Target, you could be anywhere. But if you see that jersey, you're like, oh shit. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of how my brain is whenever I see people. Bang, we got another goal. 2-0 Kraken. Just like that. Bang, bang. Vince, done. Hey, how's it going, man? I had to stop by and see you, dude. There's usually going to be people that, that I've come across and became friends with, at places, like a Petco, at the grocery store, maybe the dispensary. Like I talk to people talk to me, and it's cool when you talk to people and they actually become friends with you. They'll show up on the stream, or I'll, go out of my way to, say what's up and talk a little bit, especially if you have a connection with like Mariners or sports in general. We both live in the Pacific Northwest. We both know the Mariners are cheap as hell. I just want Julio to be happy, and I want us to just do something, move the needle. If you're not going to get us Randy Arozarena and Blake Snell, I mean, what are we doing? Like, you really think that we're going to develop from the farm system and then magically Dipoto is just going to bring a championship to the Mariners? I mean, I've heard of people being drunk on the job, but I mean, it just sounds like to me that ownership and the GM want to pocket money and say, fuck everyone else. Get to that sideline, touchdown, Easton Stick, 10-0, Chargers. Oh, this might be good for my fantasy. I'm going against Josh Allen. I need Josh Allen to have a minimal day. All right, have a minimal amount of points, under 20, please. It was good to see you, man. For people that work at places like a Petco, but more or so like a Safeway, Albertsons, Thriftway, Costco, Winco. When you're working there, and that was my first job. I actually worked my first job was with my dad and my dad's friend Randy, where we did like crawdadding, crayfishing professionally. And when I was like 12, so right, and I was making like $20 an hour, 3 hours of work, hour there, hour back. So 5 hours of my day was gone, but I got unlimited corn dogs and big gulps. So when you're 12 years old, you're taking advantage of that. And then after that, it was at grocery. But anytime it's the holidays, let me tell you, like before Thanksgiving and before Christmas, that place of work is ridiculously busy. Like you even see like the self line where you're just gonna I'm gonna do this shit myself, right? I'm gonna scan that shit myself. I'm in and out. Even when that is like 20 deep, you're like, this is this is not a good day. And then plus it's like, I gotta get gift cards. So then you can't do the self checkout. So I can't even go hang out with my buddy Jeff, right? So then I gotta go through the regular line. But it was good to see you. I wish I could have talked to you for a little bit more. We could have bitched a little bit about how the Mariners are cheap, and if they just got rid of some of those guys and sold the team, or had some better direction, like Mariner fans would be like way more supportive. Like, I mean, how much do you expect passionate fans to support when you're like making our team worse and we're getting Dorito bags in return? And let alone, it's not like the salary dump is that big. And then now, no Teoscar, no Eugenio Suarez, no Kelenic. You got three of like the fan favorites gone. And what did we get in return? Nothing. Sad. But it's always good when I can see my guy. I appreciate you. I respect the work. I respect it, because anyone that works at a store, or if you do like warehouse work, I've done like white collar where I'm doing like phone sales. You don't get this in a week, you're fired. And so you have to be with like the best of the best in the world, and then big companies and big contracts and whatnot. And then, doing that type of stuff, man, two different type of tireds, let me tell you, but I got respect for them. I remember one job I had, it was snowing and I was building furniture. It was like me, some other Asian homies, then the Latino homies, and then the Russian homies. So it was just like, and it was like for a company. And I'm telling you, like hardcore labor. And I think it was like $5.50 an hour. Could you imagine making $5.50 an hour and working like on a furniture assembly line, but it's like fast, and you have to be like, if you're the last one in the line, you got the air gun, you got to put the cushions on, you got to wrap it with a bag, you got to get the nail gun, you get the wood, bang, bang, push it over. Then you got some buff, like Mexican dude that looks like Eddie Guerrero that says, "What's up" to me every day. And I'm like, "You're my homie." And then he pushes like the couch away with like 3 fingers and then goes and moves it into like a semi truck. That was the type of shit that I did for $5.50. So when you work with the Asian homies and the Latino homies and the Russian homies, and then you work a job like that for like $5, $5.50. And I remember it was so snowy. I had Jordans and I had to walk to this fucking job, and I didn't have like boots. I'm like, well, fuck, a couple feet of snow. I guess my feet are going to be wet, but when you need money, right? You gotta do what you got to do. But that makes me have a different perspective about people that work jobs during the holidays. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Tough work for some of them. Man in motion, 10-0 Chargers. Sports God's trying to help me out in fantasy, I see. Nice. 2 days for Christmas. But if you can be with the family, that's what it's about, right? You have a newborn, right? Girlfriend or wifey, right? If you're, driving on the road, and you're doing that type of work, you can make really good money, but hours and being days and weeks away, it's a big commitment. It's like the trade-off, the big money, but you're going to be gone. So when you get those days, you make them count. Cook in the competition. Chargers defense, not good. First down, Bills.
Really what we saw from James Cook a week ago. Patience, but then once he gets into the hole and gets a little space, you see the explosion.
James Cook is the first running back they've had I've liked ever. It's like Thurman Thomas, and then I've been waiting. I'm like, where the hell is the goddamn running back? It's like, I told you guys needed a top 10 if you guys wanted to actually do something in the playoffs. Now they actually got a top 10 guy, but now the offensive line fell apart. The defense fell apart with injuries. They're hot, but like, how hot of a team like this, how far can they go? Does anyone actually think Buffalo can overachieve and win like a few games and beat like better teams, possibly even on the road, and then all of a sudden Buffalo is in the AFC Championship game? I don't know. That would be a huge stretch. But I guess if you get hot and healthy at the right time, this could be a good example to be able to watch a team that there's many teams that are better, right? But if you got a top quarterback and then you got a top running back, sometimes that Uncle Mo starts flowing. Allen, scrambling, gambling. Oh, yeah, slide down before the first down marker. Flag, bring it back due to a hold. Yes, please. All right, let me see what he's got in fantasy. This is for the championship, to get to the championship round. He's got Josh Allen. What has he got? 1.84. That's pretty good. I'm starting Baker Mayfield over Patrick Mahomes. So it shows you, if you go by name recognition, like, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes because he's the better quarterback. True. But if he hasn't been playing well and the receivers have been dropping, I can go Baker Mayfield. Been playing kind of good last 2 games. And Jacksonville, Lawrence is not 100%. They say he's going to play, but he might be a last minute. Can't do it. Should be interesting. But Baker Mayfield, I never would have thought. To get to the championship, I got to play with Baker Mayfield and have confidence. Nice catch. You did? Dude, a lot of that stuff is super valuable, and it's like super collectible, vintage. It's like, I don't know, man. Anytime if anyone finds stuff like that, it's like, shit, I got my little kid Charlotte Hornets jump off. You know how like every kid, you knew at least someone, or you had one yourself. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, yeah, if you didn't have a Charlotte Hornet, starter jacket of some kind, snowy or the zip up, it's like it was like the most popular like rando jacket that was out there, but it was cool colors, and Alonzo Mourning was dope. They had Muggsy Bogues, Dale Curry. Larry Johnson.
That's the second time now that Josh Allen had a free runner and probably the first down. They don't connect.
That's awesome, man. 10-0 Chargers. Who would have thought? I like the way this game is going for me in fantasy, Chief will Chief. Like, I was kind of like thinking, okay, this feels like a Bills trap game. Like, okay, they got Easton Stick. He hasn't been playing well. They're at home. but we're the Buffalo Bills and we're hot, but we're on the road, but we're like, fuck it. I'm Josh Allen. We're the Bills. Like, we're the hottest team going in. And then all of a sudden you find like that one team that kind of punches you in the mouth and you're like, oh shit. Like, you know, and like the way that the Bills have been playing within the last month, you're like, it don't matter, especially if they got no Herbert or Keenan Allen. Oh, they're going to win easily. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, 10-0 Chargers. That is crazy. You think you understand the NFL, right? You think you're like, oh, I'm going to bet some money on this. I'm going to win. And all of a sudden the Chargers end up winning, and that's your bank account. You're like, fuck my life. What did I do? Gotta be very cautious. Something looks like a slam dunk. You say, yeah, this is going to be a slam dunk, right? And then all of a sudden you thought, they lost. Josh Allen with 5 fantasy points. Can't win in the championship. Got to get some numbers. Hopefully not too much, though. I need to win.
Genius. You're a genius? Oh, wow. They got tech and toys. And you look, slipper socks. Mom's always cold. And Christmas Eve delivery by 4 p.m. I am golden.
Josh Allen's got 2 points.
Okay, Chris.
It's go time. To Elizabeth from
Cracking intermission. Vince Dunn. I love it. Oh, and this too. Remember, this is important. Take care of yourself. There's only one of you. And if you've gone down that darkness, it's not good. It's hard to get out. You know, but if you can like check off the boxes, you know, make sure you don't go deeper into the darkness, get out of it. Take care of this. This is important. Big facts. Kraken and Ducks. Kraken are gonna win. Buffalo Bills, will you come back? I don't know. Let me know anything else like photo wise. You should send me a picture of the windbreaker type stuff. I want to see that shit. I love seeing vintage stuff, like stuff from the 80s and 90s. I enjoy that. Like I have this bag from my childhood toys. It's like just like a regular, you know, paper bag, you know, back from like the 80s, 90s, and it's just full about, you know, not all the way to, it's like, you know, a big garbage, and it's like maybe a 10th full, just like a couple layers on the bottom, but just a lot of cool like Hot Wheels and Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joes and He-Man, stuff like that. Micro Machines. Your boy has a couple micro machines. I like being able to see that type of stuff. And then the McDonald's toys back in the day, I got like the Mario and some of the other stuff. Like you had to capitalize on that shit, and then a lot of people just lost them. But I'm like, no, I can't lose that shit. But luckily the bag didn't get thrown out. But it's like going back in time, like 30 years, and you're like 35 years, and you're like, oh shit, I remember playing with that. Like that was my toy back in the day. Top 3, pass incomplete. Darren Johnson. Easton Stick is like, damn, this is not going good for me, but I'm up 10-0. I have not. Have you? I have not. Are you listening to it on just the radio or on the like the podcast, not seeing the visuals? 3rd down and 8, 10-0 Chargers. The NFL is crazy. You think you can win some money, and then all of a sudden the opposite happens. Palmer with the screen pass, short gain. Chargers about to punt. The radio.
Yeah, the only thing you want to be careful of if you're the Atlanta Chargers is 10 points is not enough. It's not even close to enough against this Buffalo Bills team, who I still think, you know, they lived a little bit on that celebration last week. They had a short
4th and 3.
fly across the country. The Buffalo Bills offense at some point is going to wake up, and they're going to wake up with an explosion.
Buffalo, everything's okay.
Oh. Almost blocked that. Oh, hit him with the shimmy and the shake. Hit him with the skirt. 7-0 Northwestern on Utah. Utah, you better hold down the pack, baby. Like this shit is important. You want to be able to like represent for the conference, not only just yourself. Like you don't want to be that conference that like everyone loses the bowl game. Which one? The Herbert jersey? It's a nice one. Is that what you're talking about? Or something else? Oh, he caught it. Touchdown. Gabe Davis. Josh Allen getting fantasy points on me. That's not good, but the game is closer now. Boom. 10-6. Chargers. That was sweet. That's what makes Josh Allen fun. But again, the Chargers defense is one of the worst. So even though they have names, it's like, you can carve them up. And look at that. One-on-one, over the top. Gabe Davis playing like Stephon Diggs. You're like, who is that? Good ball placement there. Great catch. Fingertips. Hands. Team. Look at me. I'm Gabe Davis. Big 1-3. Touchdown me. Gabe Davis, me. That was sweet. Extra point is up, and it's good. A Cromartie one-hand interception on Manning. That's hella specific. That's like something that you were thinking about for like a week. That's like way specific. Like an exact moment in time. And only that. And that's it. Not anything vague. It has to be exactly that moment. Oh, this one. Yeah, I remember this one. That one was pretty cool. Yeah, I remember. Bump, bump, bump. There's other ones, but like some are formatting, some are not formatting. So, but Richard Wayne. There it is.
My name's Ryan Heffler, and because of TikTok, I have the power to educate people and hopefully create lots.
And then a candid view, a different perspective. You got to go the front and the back. Boom shakalaka. That one's more impressive. It's like, boom, that's my photograph. You're like, then you can really see the athleticism. You're like, oh, that was a good play. I got you. Your boy's good. Snagged it. More than snagged it. Like one of the most memorable plays for the franchise ever. That's when it's something pretty amazing. It's like Rondé Barber's pick 6, against Donovan McNabb. What do you think that's like? That was the most exciting play in my life to ever kind of experience. That and Rose Bowl was pretty big. Against Russell Wilson, that one was a pretty big one because we hadn't won a Rose Bowl in like 100 years. So it's like before you can even think about a natty, you got to get a Rose Bowl win under your belt. So, but now we're gonna be in the Big Ten, and then we're gonna dominate. We're gonna be fucking top 3. It's gonna be fucking Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, and maybe not in that order. It's gonna be badass. And then Washington will get better. USC will get better. UCLA will get better. And then all of a sudden, we're starting to take over the other person's division. But it's cool. That's the way super conferences are going to work. It's like 16 teams, 18 teams, 20 teams in each conference. He fumbled the bag. Missy fell on it. Yeah.
sort of look at him. He's like him on fire. Why? Because they're not touching him. That's why. Zero pressures on 14 dropbacks tonight. That is not
Stick actually playing pretty good. Going through the motions. Bills defense has, holes in the interior, in the second level, back in the secondary. So, I mean, anywhere you're looking, there's going to be a weakness there. But, if Josh Allen is playing well, then it definitely covers up some of it, if they can get lucky on some plays. Josh Allen, I see you. You make NFL exciting. Sometimes you have to just appreciate what you see, even if it's like other people are getting hurt. You just want to be able to see some good football at the end of the day. You want to make sure you're putting out the best product on TV as possible. I mean, you want to have something to look forward to. Kraken, baby, let's go. Chargers 10, Bills 7. Kellen Moore is like, this job is to save my career. I better fucking play call good, or I'm never going to be a head coach. I feel like Kellen Moore comes across as like a super intelligent, like phenom kind of guy, but he's just not as good, as I think that there's others that are out there. Nice fake. There you go. First down, Chargers. Bolt up. Move the chains. Also, Eckler. And when you got a guy like Eckler who could be like number one in fantasy overall if utilized properly and if he could stay healthy, I mean, he can do everything. He could be a Christian McCaffrey. Same thing. It's just, is the team healthy and is he getting help? And, it's going to kind of trade off year in and year out. But if you have a player that's, that good, you don't want to have him underutilized. And if you underutilize a player like that, then you're going to lose a lot of 50-50 games because you're not getting the most out of him. He's got talent to get 100, 120 yards and a touchdown or two every game. And then if you go like so many games and so many bad performances because you're not using him right, momentum starts to dip a little bit. I know if I was running the Chargers, I'd be going way more heavy to him. Nice little play action there. Stick, floater, incomplete. 40 to go. Not more for 20. If he was on a better team, like he could be like an MVP kind of guy. If utilized properly. It's like you don't want to see like Herbert and Keenan Allen and, it's like some of these guys, this is just their legacy. That's just what it's going to be. But unless they go to a secondary team. But it's just always shitty when you see like athletes, regardless if you like them or not. But when you see athletes like true potential not being hit because of either them or who they have around them, or there are people that are mentoring them are dumb, so you're like, gosh, like I want to see, these guys be better, like at least have a chance to like, try to play for a championship once in their careers. But NFL, just like every other sport, can get kind of cruel. It's the best of the best. It's a man's game. It ain't high school college ball. Third down and 12. Shotgun set. Pressure up the middle. Stick avoids a sack lunch. Flag on the play. Look at Stick run. Look at me. Almost to the first down marker. He's got some heart. He's got some guts. Easton Stick. Kind of like a poor man's Taysom Hill, but he still can do a lot of things, and that's not like a disrespectful thing. It's just the closest thing I can think of for a guy that can run and do a little bit of everything, but just not as consistent with the big play ability. Holding. Kraken 2-0 on the Ducks. Reflect in the building. What's good? So I've been doing some spying and reading and whatnot. So it looks like he's leaning that they're going to keep the information to the very last minute, but I assume that Lawrence plays. So, they said that if he, concussion protocol, with all the testing, then he's flying with the team. So I'm thinking that regardless if that's failed or not, he's going to fly. And then it just depends on when they announce it. So I'm pretty sure they know the answer today, so just we'll have to, but I would assume that, unless it's the concussion and the injury is so bad that they, are doing a thing like CJ Stroud, then that benefits you a shitload. But he is playing as if he's not worried about it. Yep, he's going. Because if you haven't picked anybody up, then you're just like, well, then you believe he's playing, but I don't know how effective. Yeah, and I'm going against Josh Allen, against Chief Chief, that number one quarterback. So if I can minimize the damage and keep it under 20, hell, under 15, if you want to really do me some love, under 10, then it's like you feel amazing, with your chances. And his kicker and defense did not do well. -5 on the defense and like a 2 or a 3 out of the kicker. So, you're starting off with 7 to go and you're already like -2, something of that nature. So I'll take it. That helps me out a shitload. That's why the NFL is such a tricky slope. People always ask me for advice and they want to win money, and they know that this group will watch more and read more than everybody else. So I think, if you have a good grasp, if you have enough time and enough people that are covering things on a heavy level, you're going to be able to make more educated guesses and predictions. But sometimes you just think one thing's going to happen and then the opposite happens. Mason Rudolph, Pickens. Okay. I guess it had to happen at some point. Chargers D. It's crazy. Crazy, man. Josh Allen with an 8.4. So, I'm not really going to say anything. I'm just like, oh man, this is kind of going in a trap game for Buffalo, and a Charger team that's like loose, that like, we don't got nothing to play for, so fuck it, let's just have fun. And they're playing like that. And I think like if they were like nervous, then the Bills would be able to kind of take advantage like they have been for like a month on most of the teams. But now the Chargers are like, oh, kind of playing all right. Reflect with the tour says, I want you not to eat air for dinner. $2 holla. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. No air for you. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Go Huskies. Right there. Boom. Appreciate you. We appreciate it.
I would say below that.
Give the gift of family heritage with ancestry.
The end of last season's this, the defense.
Knowledge is good. Especially if you want to have good predictions, you want to be good at fantasy, you want to be able to, just feel like the pulse of what's going on. Sometimes you can use that to your advantage with, having kind of a gut feeling on a string of like good things happening with a player. It just can you sense it before everyone else and then take advantage. Shotgun set, Allen. Little check down. They got themselves a good one with Kincaid. You watched him in college. He was a beast. He likes him more than Dawson Knox. So you just got like a Dawson Knox who was like kind of an 8, just out of a 10, like a guy, but like if you went to him often, yeah, you might be able to get points. But with Kincaid's more like has like top 5, top 10 ability, a little bit, different ceiling. Let me know what you want for the photos. Cook. So me and Reflect need Cook and Allen to calm down. NFL, tough to predict. I like this Kraken being up 2-0 on the Ducks. I had a good feeling. Yeah, it's the best. You could say, oh, because Ken Dorsey, got fired. Regardless if he got fired or not, if Cook gets enough opportunities, a player is going to be able to have good vision. And when you see a guy that's got good vision, right, he gets hit, but he keeps going, and seems kind of positive. Then you feel momentum, and if they can have consistency, then you start believing. And in the last month, you've seen a big uptick in like the way that he runs. There's a certain style about him, and obviously if you can prevent the fumbles, that's going to be a thing. Keep your confidence at a good level, but starting to look like a fantasy superstar. And if you got a guy like that, you could definitely win a championship with a guy like that, depending on who you're playing and how often you go to him. Oh, Gabe, look at Gabe. First down, Bills. He look at me. It's me, Gabe, 1-3. He's underutilized, kind of like a, poor man's Godwin. But there's still opportunities for him if the game plan goes to him. It's like, could he get a touchdown in a game? Yeah. It's like you almost expect him to get one or two, and then when he doesn't or hasn't gotten a touchdown in like 7 games, you're like, what the fuck's going on over there? But good to see him playing well. Unless he's on your fantasy team or against you. Yeah.
My darling Randall, this camera was given to me when I was your age. It captured big, beautiful.
What do you want for a throwback photo? Reflect. What do we want? What do we want? We want like Chargers defense, Junior Seau. Since they're playing so good tonight, like what direction are we going? 2-0 Kraken. Oh, nice. That's cool. First to total 100 assists with the team. Okay. That is cool. All right, Vince Dunn. That's a very cool. Yeah, I like that. It's cool, like when we see the team, like even though we haven't peaked, that they're still making like history, and like sometimes it's just those little wins. When the team is like, we are much better than this, and why are we like so far down? Like, why are we playing so shitty? But once you get things settled in net, I think everything else kind of just kind of comes together. The confidence builds from that, and I think that we're slowly getting better. And hopefully we can go, once we get on a nice little win streak, that'll be the best. So then people can be like, okay, I feel really good right now about the direction of the team. I mean, shit, at this point, I'll take a 3 to 5 game win streak. Get something like that. That could definitely help. I think Junior Seau would be pretty cool. That would be a good way to honor. We're trying to get that defense to help us out in fantasy. I was thinking, what's the best way to honor him? A guy that I liked. I don't know if you got to watch him. You got to see something. This is kind of how I visualize him. This is my dog. Cowboys, Dolphins. Oh, like back in the day. It's like, oh, all the sack lunches. You cannot mess with me. My intensity is on another level, and I make this team fun to watch. It's me, Junior Seau, stud. Oh, wow. Nice run by Cook. All right, Junior. I gotta get something sharper. Gotta get some more sharp. Oh, swag. Adidas jersey with the patch on it. Get out of here. Super dope. Imagine having that sewn in the closet as like a Charger fan. I'd be like, dude, I need to shake your hand. That's the type of shit I would be like, that's my thing right there. It's like my Derek Brooks. 10-7 Chargers, 2-1 Kraken. You put your head down for a second, boom, there's a goal. Yeah, Rodney was amazing. His whole career, wherever he played. There's always going to be like certain players like that. Like Brian Dawkins, Ray Lewis. I mean, you know, Breeze. Some of these guys, they're never coming back. Handoff. Oh. Fournette playing like he did on the Bucks. Leonard. He's like, someone please call me. I need money. That's cool that he gets an opportunity to at least, you know, you don't know how long the opportunity is going to last. You know, a couple snaps, a game, maybe a couple. It's like, be positive out there and, you know, don't fuck up on the big plays. Don't fumble. And then, hey, you might have a job. You might be the backup's backup.
I was thinking, how many guys running down on this kickoff are thinking, good. This is a big fan coming back out of there. But it gives them a little optionality now out of the backfield. And I would imagine, no, they're going to put back in.
Second down and 1.
Which means maybe
Oh, look at this. Josh Allen, touchdown. Buffalo Bills. Chief trying to score 1 billion points on me in fantasy, huh? I need to get to the championship. Extra point is up, and it's good. 14-10 Buffalo. Josh Allen is playing good football. Offensive line is playing better. I like. Now, if the defense can get healthy one day and then Cook can still play like this, they can get to a Super Bowl. But it's just like how many things are going to go wrong before they have enough depth to be able to like recover. Then maybe we'll see them.
Sometimes that's what it is. It takes, you always hear them talking about all 3 phases. It really was the 2 punts that backed them up. One of them, they really both turned into points for.
That's cool.
So a significant moment really in this game came from special teams.
You know what, Chris? You talked about them getting physical there, running the football.
That's neat, man. I like it. You guys, a lot of y'all are like, you guys. I like it. Everyone is so different with the stuff that they like. Different types of like memorabilia and whatnot is very neat. 62-38 to go. 14-10 Buffalo. I'm scared to look to see how many points Josh Allen has against me right now.
So, BFF, and I don't want anybody else.
All right, let's see here.
But the best run blocker right now on the Chargers by our data.
All right, so I'm going to send that to
If you do nothing,
Sarah, then I can grab the file. Boom, from there to
you can't sustain winning
seeing something cool. Boom shakalaka. And go here. And then here. And then boom shakalaka.
You guys got to get better running the ball. You got to come off the ball and establish yourself. And that's the one thing that I thought earlier.
Let's look at this.
Probably had a little impact there.
D-line guy's a line guy.
Yeah, let's go get him.
June 6, 2023. Dear Brant, what a thoughtful gesture. I will always love the Trojans. This banner is a true classic. Fight on for old SC! Exclamation point. Pete Carroll, autograph. I like it. Very cool.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Ball belongs to the Chargers to start the second half. They scored the first 10, the Bills the next 14. Buffalo by 4, 4 and a half time. And here's Ahmed Fareed.
I thought it was a pretty good one, you know. It just depends on what I'm feeling. You know, sometimes it'll be American accent, sometimes it'll be Asian accent. You know, it kind of depends on, you know, where we're at, you know. It's just the vibe. Padilla in the building. You know, and I like it too because a majority of the channel, I mean, it's a wide variety. There's not just like, you know, you get the wide, broad, you know, people from everywhere. And everyone is so different too. So it's always cool to be able to vibe. He said, Merry Christmas. Yeah. He's like, I need some parlays. Padilla says, I need a parlay to hit. He said, if I don't get this parlay to hit, no gifts. You got to wait. Hopefully things go good. Yeah. I got friends of like literally everywhere. So it's nice to be able to see, I got to be able to rep all the cultures, you know. $3 holla. You got to have diversity on the channel. It's good to have the diversity and the age gap. 10 to 90, that's a good gap of age group, but normally like 18 to 90. That's like a very good wide range of people. Some considered younger, and then middle-aged and older, the OGs. Bang, bang. Some stacks, some racks, some Cactus Jack. $3 holla. I appreciate you. He's like, Pete Carroll autograph. Yes. A very cool thing. It's cool as a collector being able to find stuff or to be able to have a situation like that. Hey, I think it's all about how you feel. You know what I mean? Everyone's life goes through the ups and the downs. And then if you're in like a positive vibe, you know, there's nothing wrong with having, you know, good, you know, mental health and good positive energy as if someone would have younger, you know. We all got to have our wins, man. Nothing wrong with that. Your dad is? It's kind of close, though. 14-10. That's not like, look at us, we're blowing you out. I'm going against Josh Allen in fantasy, so I got to like, you know, I want him to do well. I know the Bills are going to win, but I just can't have him go like fucking bananas, and he's already at 15.76. So if he gets another like 20 or 30, I mean, I don't want to lose. I'm trying to advance. He's going to go Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, Devin Singletary. So when you look at my names, you're like, oh, there's no way you're going to win. But we will see. Damn, that's not good. Josh Allen almost at 20 already. Well, Herbert's not playing since he's out. Keenan Allen isn't playing either. And it's about the coaching staff, if, you know, being able to build a roster and understanding what the needs are. You know, but James Cook is the, you know, I think you feel comfortable with him. Like if you like decided like, okay, he keeps playing well, you go to the playoffs, he has some electric moments, then you're like, oh, okay, I feel really comfortable. This is our RB1. Now we got to stop looking, and then we can just look for RB2s, and then you just try to find the best RB2 that works with them. And then maybe then the defense gets healthy, and then they'll have their run. And then Josh Allen will get to a Super Bowl, but they haven't had James Cook kind of production. And again, when you had Dorsey running it, you know, now with Brady, it's, you know, a big difference. Yeah, sports stuff is always cool towards the holidays. You know, and you get a little bit more too as a fan. You're like, oh, college bowl game. I don't give a shit about these two teams, but it's fucking on. Let's, you know, boom. And then, or you like hockey, you know, or you got a football game that only a percentage of the country cares about. And a lot of us are invested because of fantasy. So, you know, if you're already going to be, and especially if you have the person or if you're going against, there's a little bit more focus. You're like hoping okay, you can do good, but let's not go crazy. I still want to advance. We'll see how it goes. I like McDaniel. He's real. Like him on the Hard Knocks or the other stuff that comes out where they did the little documentary. I like him too because like he'll be like, yeah, I fucked up. You don't really hear coaches, on the mic or just admit that, yeah, I sucked at play calling. When you get that realism and that genuine behavior, like of course the Dolphins are going to be good for a fucking long time. Like that's what they needed. And sometimes you get a guy that's an assistant, then gets a chance, or a coordinator, and then boom, trying to build the AFC 49ers. That's what they're doing. That's the ultimate goal for the Miami Dolphins, to be the Niner version in the AFC, but in his, point of view. They got some splash players. The Cowboys. We got the Eagles. That's cool too.
Teams they've beaten, the Eagles have the lead there. They would be favored certainly in a tiebreaker, but
yeah. Anytime you can go outside the box, though, you never know what might happen in return. Especially if like it's going to mean a lot, and it's going to be worth it to make the effort in one way or another. You can be super fan, or you just want to see, I don't expect anything, but here, and then if you do get a response, you're like, oh shit, because even if it wasn't like signed, you'd be like, oh, this is cool. Like actually respond back to me. And I actually think it's him. It's not like receptionist. And then you're like, oh no, it's like, I'm going to put my autograph on here. So, the receptionist did not handle this. I did. I wrote this. Me, Pete C. Very cool. I like shit. Like, for me, I'm a big coaches. Like I met Tony Dungy at Oregon, and I got a chance to talk to him for a couple minutes when no one recognized him. I don't know how. He's very recognizable when his son was on the team. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. Pretty cool. Very cool. The auto is cool. I like it. Kraken 2, Ducks 1. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. Come on, Kraken. I like stuff like that. You guys already know, like when you have people that are collectors too, we're our own type of camaraderie and breed. Like when you watch like American Pickers, and there's like, certain people that'll take it to like a hoarding level. But if you're like a collector and like the stuff that you have, it actually has value. And if you ever needed, to be able to be okay, you could be like, oh, I might be able to part with this. And, then I'm cool. But and then to see how what everyone has as their own vibe is cool. I like to have a wide variety, like cards and memorabilia and, Star Wars or Marvel, a little bit of everything.
It sounds like a home game. The Bills traveling very well. It's 14-10, the Buffalo Bills.
14-10 Buffalo. All right, what other photos would you guys like for me to put up? Let me know. This has been a weird fantasy year. I think every year you're like, oh, there's so many injuries, but so many more like significant names. And then it just trickles down. Because then if it's like you got a receiver, and then all of a sudden like Keenan Allen, like I was like, oh, these 40-point games by Keenan Allen in fantasy are awesome. I'm going to destroy everybody. And then Herbert gets hurt. And then all of a sudden he gets hurt. And then they're like, oh, there's no more value in Keenan Allen. It's just, now you're chilling there. That's unfortunate. But what's not unfortunate that. Pretty neat. He said, I did that, not my assistant. Cool piece of memorabilia. The Levistrator. Injury dog.
Happy holidays from Ashley. Hurry into your local Ashley store where we know at the end of the year.
Anybody can. You know, you never know who it might be. Shit, Joshua Dobbs. I had him for a few weeks. You know what I mean? And if you had an opportunity, you either were blocking someone that would have used him against you, or you used, you know, guys like that. And sometimes you'll have to have that Justin Fields player that gets hot for a month, but once it burns out, it burns out. And there's no more, like, you just have to make sure you take advantage and pay attention. So if you get that hot player for a month, that might be the difference of making the playoffs or not. Boom. A sticker. That's super. $2 holla. Bang, bang, bang. And then a boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla for reflect. Can we get this like Husky game already going? It's taking way too long. Like usually I don't get this excited about it though, because it's like, you know, with Johnny Football or with Michael Vick, you know, it only went so far, but now it's like feels like the plateau, things could be different. Second half approaching.
Here the stories out of that first half. Josh Allen ran 1-1. That's 11 games this year. It's an NFL record. Nobody's done it that often in one season. As for Gabe Davis on the catch end and that one long pass, 94 yards.
Boom.
Pretty good when you have to try the ball.
Touchdown. Michael Penix Jr. Huskies defeat the Texas Longhorns. Boom. Huskies advance to the Natty. $2 holla. Appreciate you. Like, it's going to be the most exciting. I mean, Quinn Ewers is, you know, you get that super matchup, you know, with the quarterbacks on one side, defense is not being as good. And then you get the Michigan, Alabama, where it's just going to be like little plays. And it's going to, the big explosive play is going to be like super impactful. And it'll be kind of a run in the mud type of game, you would assume, because the defenses are so good for Michigan and Alabama. But I mean, if you're looking about NFL talent and quarterbacks, the quarterbacks are on that Washington, Texas side. That's where you play well in that game. I mean, you got a lot of Uncle Mo going. Ryan say, hook 'em horns, ain't a low whale. But it's all about the Pac-12. And we're going out on top, either Ducks or Huskies. And that's the bottom line, because old dog said so. We got to have something in our last year. You know, something we can be proud of as a conference, something cool that happened before we start to take over the Big Ten. Because, you know, it's inevitable. You can't act like, you know, out of the 4 schools, at some point, something crazy going to happen. And, you know, instead of it being Michigan and Ohio State, you know, maybe one or a couple teams start getting in there, you know, maybe start kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, and then especially if it ends up happening with that or this, right? And then we end up getting first place at one point. You'd be like, oh, look at us. Stick, a little check down. Nice hit. Flag on the play. Milroe's not as nice, though. Milroe is like Justin Fields. If you watch a lot of college ball and compare it to like NFL, like there's talent there, but he's more of like runner and not as accurate with his arm, and sometimes starts off really slow. Still, it seems like in most games he can get 2 touchdown passes or more, but on the college level, it's like I don't know. Sometimes he's consistent, but sometimes he can't make the throws. He's a very streaky quarterback, probably the streakiest. But I think if you're going based off talent, Ewers and Michael Penix Jr. are on a whole nother fucking planet. They're not even on the same planet. Like those two guys are on another plateau compared to McCarthy and Milroe. Those guys are all right, you know, but if we're talking like NFL or actually having something where you could be a big name or a name, I mean, the guys on the right are much better than the ones on the left. The ones on the left are going to have to bank on coaching and system and getting into the right team that has the right supporting cast and getting a shot. The other ones are going to be so talented, they can play fucking anywhere. And, you know, it just depends on how they get used and coached up. And then either Michael Penix Jr. is a star or he's not. Same thing with Quinn Ewers. But they're both cool. Eckler, rumbling and a bumbling. First down, Chargers. Some ta-ta. Some ta-ta. Eckler, baby.
Austin Eckler, go back to 2021, most touchdowns in the NFL over that stretch. It's been quieter this year, especially the last month and a half. But a little more of the guy we have seen over the first 6 years of his career.
A little injury to start the season and kind of coming back slowly. Sometimes it's happened.
Sideline was hoping to see Douglas would see. Oh, but Eckler was heading the other way.
They were trying to get that ball to Eckler there, and they're lucky because Eckler took it up the field and Stick had no idea what he was doing. Rasul Douglas is one of those guys that what a big deal that was, right? The trade coming over from Green Bay, 2 interceptions since he came over here, and he is one of those guys like a market
2-1 Kraken. Almost the end of the second period. Boom. Shotgun set, 3rd down and 8. Oh, Stick. You know what time it is? Time for sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. All right, Buffalo. Buffalo with the sack lunch. Oh, my. Nice. Okay. I see you. Come on, Kraken. Hang on. I like it. We're starting to like slowly gain a little W's, like little positive, like accomplishments go a long ways. You know, even if it's something like just a first time thing or something that was inevitably was gonna happen, just, you know, based on how many games are played in a row. But I like the direction of where we're going. I feel the vibe is a little bit more positive, you know, and of course it always happens with wins, or if you get, you know, shutouts, or you start to see people start stepping up and fucking winning games. 14-10, Buffalo, 2-1, Kraken. Release it. Defend it. Defend the deep. The place looks like really fun. Just to be able to have that environment. I wish something like NHL hockey was like close. I wish I had like an option to have like professional team 30 minutes away. I'd be like, oh shit, I would go. End of the second period, 2-1 Kraken. They should fight each other. Jacob in the building. All right, let's look at the fantasy here. He's got Josh Allen, number 1 quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, number 1 running back. Pacheco, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Jake Ferguson, Chandler. And then he got Saints D and McPherson, who did him dirty. All right. We will see. Yawning. We're getting there. We're getting there. I want to get wins.
Get your party started for less at Target.
I got a present for Paisley at Petco, and I actually had the restraint to not just be like, here, fuck it. It's a couple days early, but like, I was like, no, I'm going to wrap this up, and it's going to be like Christmas present. Boom. Instant happiness. Takes like some discipline to do that. But I'm excited. It'll be cool. She's got plenty of other options. But I appreciate you guys. You guys be able to make little things like that. Like if I can do something like that, you know, that's my priority. Oh, fumble. Ooh, coughed it up. Oh, who got that ball? Wow. No, knee was down. Oh, and he punched it out though.
It does appear that his knee's down just before the ball starts.
Yeah, Cook's knee is down.
But it was wow. It was
His knee is down, but then it gets poked out. I mean, it doesn't matter how much longer after the knee is down, but as long as you see the knee down, every frame after that just proves, oh, his knee was down. Like there it is. You know, it's not that difficult. Whether it's like 1 second, 2 seconds. Oh, I don't know about that play call. I saw his knee and then it was down for like 3 seconds, but I don't know. But Cook is nice. Like I would roster a guy like that on my fantasy. Like moving forward, if he can be a beast, like that could be a potential top 5 or top 10 guy. I could see potential, but offensive line needs a fucking facelift. They need more offensive linemen. Like offensive line is not very good for them. Like if Josh Allen actually had like a top 5 line, like there's like going to be players, you know, and sometimes you'll have a top 5 line or top 10 line and it doesn't like give you the eye test. Like statistically speaking, they're actually 10th, you know, but they don't look like it. They look like top 20. That doesn't make a difference. I need to see big impact. Going deep. Oh, look at that intercepted. Trying to save me in the fantasy points. Uh-oh. Then interceptions, I think, is like what, -2? Like sometimes -2 is like a motherfucker. Like you get like a -2, a couple of them, you're like, uh-oh. Like I can have a couple touchdown passes, but you get a couple -2s in there for the interceptions, and then your number starts going backwards. Going from 15 down to 13. Me like. I like that. But as we know, Josh Allen is beast mode, and look how much time is left. It's like inevitable. And then if he gets hot on back-to-back drives, then you know you're cooked, because then it's like, uh-oh. Because all of a sudden he's like, oh, touchdown pass. And then all of a sudden when he's got like 2 or 3, it might be 4. And then you look at fantasy and you're like, oh, this sucks. I might have lost. Competitive game, though. The Chargers, I give them credit. You know, no Herbert, no Keenan Allen. And, you know, you would assume, okay, well, where are we going to go? A heavy Eckler. Well, no shit. You have nowhere else to go. No one else that's reliable. And you got a quarterback that hasn't really been playing that good, but they're fighting at home. I like it. I don't think anyone predicted Mason Rudolph and George Pickens today. NFL is, you can lose a lot of money betting in the NFL. You're like, I'm an expert. I'm going to win everything. I'll show you. And then you bet heavy on the Bengals and Jake Browning to have that momentum, and then boom, money disappeared. A little jet sweep. End around. Oh, okay. Chargers uniform and the colors are very special. They got a vibe. The lightning bolts on the helmet's super cool. And then it's got that powder blue. Oh, Easton. He said, let me run you over and Taysom Hill. First down, Chargers. Oh. I think there's a lot of colors that are vibes. You know, people really like the creamsicle stuff for the nostalgia, even if they don't like orange or my Buccaneers, but it's just like the only one that is orange. So people are like, oh, look at orange. But, you know, there's quite a few. You know, only New England's throwback, Seahawks and Eagles throwback. I mean, there's a lot. Houston Oiler one. I mean, there's some top 5, 6, 7 that are like way better than what we're wearing now. It's like you almost would want them to wear it full time. It's so cool. That's when you know it's cool. It's like 20, 30, 40 years old, and they're like, this is the best we've ever had. Nah, it's first down, Chargers. Flag on the play. Probably a hold. They said, fuck. What the fuck happened? Illegal formation offense. A replay, first down. Kellen Moore's like, you're going to get me fired, bastards. I keep calling all these good plays. You fuckers are keep holding and doing all this bullshit. That's probably what he's thinking. He's like, I need to keep my job. So I'm calling these goddamn plays. I don't need to be in Dallas, Big D. I'm going to be able to do it here with Herbert. And then all of a sudden, the Dallas offense looks better without him there. We're like, oh, Kellen Moore, pretty good. Maybe he was holding them back. And I'm not a fan of McCarthy, you know, and him and the staff calling plays with either just him or him and someone else, or, you know, you got an OC that will take over if you feel comfortable enough. But coaching's important. You got to have good coaches. This game is nice and close. 14-10 Buffalo. The Denver Broncos, yeah, we're talking about throwbacks, though. Like the top 5 or 6 throwbacks. I mean, Bronco throwback uniforms are very cool, but when you get like the throwback of the Buccaneers with the creamsicle orange, it's a little bit more iconic. Doesn't matter if they sucked, it's just the way it looks. And Kelly Green and the Seahawk blue and the Houston Oilers and New England. 14-10 Buffalo. But I do like I got a lot of friends that are like Bronco fans, and I like the old school, like Terrell Davis, Maha Salute, John Elway, Steve Atwater, Shannon Sharp, Rod Smith. They had some guys. First timeout taken. 14-10 Buffalo. Let me know what's going on with that, man. What's going to happen? When is this day? When are we going to watch this goddamn game with the Ducks, huh? Eventually? Like, I hate it having to wait like a week. Like, you're making me wait a month every year after the season ends, and then all of a sudden I got to wait, and then hopefully we win. And hopefully the players that are star players, we do something. So if we lose to Liberty, that's not a good look, but our recruiting is still like out of the, like we're doing really, really well. So the future, it looks very, very bright, because not only are we getting the best recruits in the old Pac-12, like we're competing with everyone, like right at the top with like Georgia and Bama. So if it's like Georgia, Bama, Oregon, you know, and then you got Ohio State, Michigan, and like the top dogs, but then you can get up with the top 1 or 2. That's when you know that you can have a few years of good recruiting and it can change the program. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? It's time for a Buffalo Bills sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. That was a nice sack lunch for the Buffalo Bills. 2 sack lunches for the Buffalo Bills to the 0 to the Chargers. 0. That's a lot of money that people are going to win. 0. Picking the wrong damn teams to win tonight. Judah. There's a Judah in the building. Kick is up. It's good. Close game, 14-13. Judah's like, I got everything on these 3 games tonight. Mortgage, paycheck, savings, checking. You just got to make sure you have it under control, man. Sometimes you got to take a break, right? Got to take a break. Just depends on, how many like losing bets you have. And you're like, okay, maybe unless you feel good, you're like, eventually I'll get out of this. Yeah. Well, also too, I feel the way that when the NFL or when people do the betting thing and they put out a spread, right? Have you noticed like the games where they're like, this team is going to beat this team by 10 points or more. And then everyone bets, heavy on the Bills and then whatever. And then what happens if the Chargers win or they have like their game? It's like almost trying to, you have it like over exaggerated to get people's excitement up thinking that they are going to instantly win money. And then it ends up being half of what the original point spread was, or maybe they lose. And then all of a sudden, boom, shakalaka, the house wins. You put in a lot of money for a slam dunk. You didn't consult your boy. And then now you don't have a home. Be careful with your money. Got to be careful, man. 1 bet leads to 1,000,000 bets. Judah's like, I need money. I need to eat. I need to place another bet. He's like, fuck eating. He's like, eating, I can if I win some money, I can eat. It's like, man, I haven't won in fucking 9 bets. I need a win. Sometimes it be like that, bro. Then you just got to be like, all right, you got to be able to get more research done. Because then you can't just be throwing money around. If you keep losing, you got to be like, okay, I got to buckle down. I got to read some. Then place a bet. Yeah, it's not the same as it was. I mean, that's why we have to make sure we appreciate the NFC South, in all forms, good, bad, and ugly. It's really ugly right now, but, if you go back a few years, it was pretty special. I agree. Drew Brees, a legend. Hey, I might be a Bucs fan, but Drew Brees, though, that was special. Bengals were favored, so I bet money line. See, boom. They influence the people that do it often, and then they know that those people are not going to consult their friends or anyone that would give them a second opinion. They're like, this motherfucker says slam dunk bet. You're like, fuck it. I'm going to do it because it's a slam dunk. And then you make 2 bets on these 2 games, and then you lose both. And then you have nowhere to sleep, no food. Not in a good position. Sleeping in the car. Judah calling friends, sleeping on the couch. It's like, let me place one more bet. I'll get my life together. The big one. You be careful, bro. But I feel like, NFL is, I've seen it a little bit more like this year too. Like when you see the ridiculous, anything that's 10 points or more, or even 9.5 or more, like be very aware of what's going on. They're obviously overly hyping something, maybe to see how many people they can sucker. And then they'll take their chances on what happens with the game. And maybe they'll be able to win another bet, depending on like how many points are scored or, how they ended up placing their bet. I see what they're doing. Judah is like life savings. These 2 games, not even the Super Bowl or the Natty, just random games. Betting my life. Man in motion. Diggs. He's like, give me the damn ball. Allen. There he is. He's like, there I am. That's why I'm worth millions of dollars. First down, Bills. Diggs. It's kind of good. They haven't used him properly. You said, I didn't bet this game. That you remember. Good game, though. I'm really excited about the Ravens and the Niners. That, especially when it feels like, okay, this could be Super Bowl. And then we get it early, like late in the season. And then it's going to be hard to win twice. And you actually get to see like a, kind of, it's not even full potential, though. If Mark Andrews was 100% healthy, then everyone that says Niners 90%, then it would be more like 60-40 Ravens. Like the Ravens would be like 40%. They'd still be heavy Niners. But if Mark Andrews is there and he's playing good and he's a touchdown machine, some people are going to be like, you know what? Fucking A. I like Lamar. OBJ, you're starting to see things happen a little bit. Defense is real good. Roquan Smith, beast mode. I don't know, man. It's like Niners are the most complete, but I feel like no Mark Andrews. That just really shitty. Wish that he was healthy. But just the simple fact that the Ravens could still be number 1 without Mark Andrews, then like, oh my God, they must be good. They might be that good. No Mark Andrews, top 2 tight end, you don't even got him. And then there's all these other AFC teams, and we still think the Ravens are number 1. God damn, they must be good then. And then it's usually the defense. You're like, okay. Offense, defense, both are awesome. Fun to watch. Lamar. Eventually, you're like, you want to see Lamar in a Super Bowl at some point, I guess, if you're an NFL fan. Same thing with Josh Allen. You're like, okay, all right, eventually, when's your turn? Let's see it. Shotgun set, Allen. Nice fucking throw. First damn, Josh Allen. Mountains. Little gunslinger, little Brett Favre. 2023 Brett Favre, minus the scandal. Josh Allen, gunslinger. Fucks up a lot. Not on the Percocets, though, or on the pain pills. Gotta be careful, Brett Favre. That's a tough life. But I like watching Brett. Brett was, passion. It didn't even matter if you didn't like the Packers or not, but sometimes it's just the player. It was a different vibe then. Allen going deep. Got a man. Oh, look at me. Gabe Davis, GD13, that's me. First down, Bills. Don't be stealing my shit. NFL Network. Tiptoeing in my Jordans. Hit him with the riffraff. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I like it when you see a wide receiver 2 play like a wide receiver 1. Not good for the wide receiver 1 because then if you're like Diggs, you're like, I need some more fucking fantasy points. It's going to someone else. But, oh, look at this. Bounce it to the outside. Baby Thurman Thomas. Cook. Just short of the goal line. And like, what happens if the Ravens win that game on the road, right? Then Ravens the best. But then if they have that rematch, maybe the Niners get them in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's adjustments are everything. And then having things on tape, or you could get one team that wins both, Niners twice or maybe Ravens twice. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. I just wish as a fan, Mark Andrews was able to play, because then that makes Lamar look even cooler and better. And it just showcases Lamar and then an amazing tight end. And I think that's cool. And it just sucks when you only have a couple tight ends that are considered elite. And then if all of them get hurt, it's like, who the hell are we cheering for at tight end then? It's like they could be just as good as the wide receivers. Shit. Some of the tight ends can be as the best receiver or tight end in the league. Like that's when you know they're beast mode. They're like, okay, you might be faster than me, but I can block better than you, and I can do more all around. And sometimes those guys are like that. Like the Gronks and the Sharps. Oh, A Bills tush push. Touchdown, Buffalo. Fantasy points. What is going on? I don't like this. How many points for Josh Allen? 1 billion? Now I'm like, uh-oh. He said bobsled tush push. Oh, God. 22.34. My heart is hurting. Oh, no. I mean, I'm still projected good, but calm down there, Josh Allen. Already over 20? It's funny how your perspective of players can change, from like, okay, this is a top 5 quarterback, but there's others that I like. And then you get to a point where you're like, kind of rooting for the guy, and then especially when you have so many injuries at the quarterback position, it's like, I want to be able to enjoy, like a Elway Marino kind of vibe. Like, I just want to see some talent. But now this talent is making me nervous in fantasy now. Extra point is up and it's good. 21-13 Buffalo. 7-7. Where the hell are the points? Everyone's sleeping. They're like, we were going to do this bowl game. Matt was like, we're going to do this bowl game. 7-7. That would have been a bad decision. That would not have been a business executive decision. But no one expected 7-7. Like, golly, score some points, damn it. Kraken 2, Ducks 1, third period. Release the Kraken. Fantasy, are you good at it? How good are you? Sometimes fantasy is luck. Sometimes you get hot and you get electric. Sometimes you have to make gambles and put in people that no one else would. Good game so far. Oh, Josh Allen. I might go with the crazy scenario in fantasy that I've never done before. I might go 3-3, where I have 6 out of my 9 pieces just in 2 separate games. It's one thing to have a 3, where you have 3 things on one team out of your 9, but if you have 6, you're really banking on the 2 teams winning and all those guys producing. So that is a very risky thing that I might do, or I might go 3 and then 2, but that, you're taking a lot of risk there. But with high risk, there is high reward, especially if the team wins, they play well, everyone gets involved, and then boom, shakalaka, you got all your points already kind of decided for. Boom, there they are. So we will see. Hybrid. Who's your MVP RN? As the kids would say right now. Either CMC or Lamar from me personally. And then he said, oh, I better mention this or I'm going to get roasted. Purdy is right there as well. I think, as far as not being biased and just looking at the landscape of college football, having a Heisman winner as a wide receiver instead of a quarterback in Devontae Smith, sometimes you'll get wide receivers and you're going to get running backs that will win the award or at least be in consideration. Normally, it's just going to be quarterbacks. But I think that the league has had so many injuries and there's been so many backups that have done well. And a lot of guys have been good this year, but not a lot of them have been elite and consistent. I think you have to then go to who's just the best player. And then if that's the case, the player of the year is Christian McCaffrey. That's where I would go. I think if you're going to take a year where it's not a quarterback and you kind of feel like, you know what, you're right. And then look, okay, who's the best running back or wide receiver or tight end? Are they doing something like kind of mind blowing or like, having big consistency in numbers? And McCaffrey is the number 1 running back. Look where the Niners are sitting. Best team. Purdy, it could be in the conversation, but if you're looking at consistency, game in and game out, who has Brock Purdy ranked the number 1 quarterback? No, he's not. He's still an MVP type of guy that, some people would consider top 5, top 10. But McCaffrey He's number one. He's a class by himself. Like, he's doing everything. And if you look at his, numbers every game, I don't think there's been anyone as consistent as him throughout the league this year. So if that's the case, and it's not a quarterback, then it goes to someone like that or a wide receiver or tight end. But I think if it's me, and I've said this for a couple weeks now, I think Christian McCaffrey is not, at this point, is not a like no-brainer, type of thing. But I think it's, I think it's an option that is realistic, and I think that he should win. And then obviously that might foreshadow the Niners, getting to the Super Bowl and Shanahan and winning, but they still need Purdy to play well. Yeah, but who's more valuable right now? You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, right? Can they win without Tyreek Hill? When they have Waddle, yeah, they can. And Tyreek is putting up some amazing numbers. That's the only other person that's playing like spectacular that you could probably argue one or another. But if you're looking at game in and game out, I think the consensus is, look where the team is, look at week by week, who's playing better, Tyreek more consistent or McCaffrey? Yes, two different positions and two that are the best at what they do, but I don't think you're going to get as many people saying that unless you're wide receiver biased or tight end biased or, you like the Dolphins or you like Tyreek, but if you're just looking at it from a not biased perspective, I think most people would say 80% or higher or 90 would be like, what, McCaffrey, I don't like the Niners. Maybe I'm not a McCaffrey person, but you open up that fucking box and you look at the numbers and you're like, holy shit, he actually has been like way better than I think people even realize. Like, you're like, oh, he's just the number one or number two running back. But there's a difference when you're like number one, and then you look at everyone else and how much better you are. And then you look at the touchdowns and then the yards and then the fantasy points each week. And you're like, holy shit. Like, sometimes when you're number one, you're really number one. And I feel that's where I would go. Now, will he get it? Probably not, because, they like being able to be comfortable and doing what, everyone tells them what to do. And it's the face of the league is normally quarterbacks. But I think, if you give it to McCaffrey, they win the Super Bowl. Why not? And then what do you think? If the Niners go to the Super Bowl and win, what, McCaffrey's not going to be an MVP? Like, he's not going to have 2 or 3 touchdowns? Probably. Like, so I don't know. We will see on how that all plays out. I mean, like I said, like, what would be more cool for the NFL? Like, with the swag, it's like you want like a Justin Jefferson or a Tyreek or, something like a Run CMC, like sometimes that over a quarterback, just that's a quarterback. Like, oh, Brock Purdy. Okay, if he deserves it, cool. But if it's like kind of up in the air between like 5 quarterbacks and then you got like Tyreek and McCaffrey and no one can really decide, then obviously the quarterback isn't deserving, because the quarterback always 95% is the guy. So if you're like, well, all of them are kind of, they're all good, but no one's like, oh my God, like this guy is playing like a football god. If it ain't like that, then you got to trickle down to running backs and wide receivers and tight ends. McCaffrey. But I do like the way that Tyreek has been playing. Still, people hate on Tua, though. He's not that good. Like, he could be like top 5 in every statistical category, but then the haters will be like, he sucks. People like to hate. Paisley just came in here. Hi, you missed Dad?
Sign up now.
I love you. She's in the room. She says, I miss my daddy. 2-1 Kraken. Less than 12 minutes to go in the third period. They're going to win. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to go walk in the dark with Paisley and look at all of the cool Christmas lights and decorations. Like, the neighborhood, like some of these people go crazy. Like, you see in that Home Alone and you see places, oh, boom, Kraken, let's go. 3-1 Seattle. We're going to win because we got the dope white away jerseys. Boom. There we go. Swag with the fucking teal Kraken blue big S in the front. What's gonna be swaggier than that, man? Nothing. That big swaggy S. Let me see this replay. Oh, ooh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, it all depends on who ends up doing the most like spectacular stuff. Who breaks the records? You know, do you get 2,000 yards receiving or rushing? And of course, if you like start doing bigger things, or do you get 20 touchdowns or more? Like, are you doing something like, you know, we haven't seen in a minute or ever? That's, you know, when you're going to get that guy to get it. But there's going to be other times where, you know, someone's still going to be doing better than the quarterbacks. And I think that you could say both of those guys have been more valuable than any single quarterback, even though you have to have one. I mean, unless you want to just be like, I got Easton Stick, I'm cool with it. You know, not ideal. Maybe Gardner Minshew, you know, best case scenario. Colts can still go to the playoffs. He's been playing pretty good, sometimes horrible, but most of the time like average or above average, but normally like, oh my God, like we need to get some other guy in there. So if you can hang around and then the defense plays well, then you know, you'll build confidence. So good for him. Mustache Minshew, you know, he's a character. Washington State Cougs, the Cougars. Mustache Minshew. 21-13 Buffalo. I got to make sure there's not too many crazy fantasy points here. Ta. Matt Payne, yeet to no yeet. Stick. Nice throw, nice catch. Boom, baby. Move the chains. Paisley. I love you. Paisley just laying here. First down and 10. Play action fake. Bootleg. Stick. Rolling to the outside. Look at me scrambling, gambling. I'm a running quarterback. Get the fuck out of my way. That's what he said. I got to look at the fantasy numbers here real quick. Air raid. Leach was awesome. His interviews and the shit that he has on the internet. He is like super intelligent. Rest in peace. Like that's a guy that, you know, there's always been some like scandal stuff and like, you know, stuff that was like, you know, how are you treating people and discipline and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff was pretty fucking positive of him. And yeah, he'll be missed. And the way that he coached and the way that he was definitely unique. I like that. He wasn't afraid to say what was on his mind. And I like it when you get people that are just real. You know, sometimes people can't handle like the truth or a certain personality, but yeah, he was awesome. Third down and 7, 21-13 Buffalo Bills. Seattle Kraken whooping that ass on the Anaheim Ducks. 3-1. Shotgun set. Stick calling 2 games at once. What happened to my hands? Good defense by the Buffalo Bills. Kraken. Crack-a-lackin'. The Leach Air Raid. Rest in peace, Mark Leach. I've seen a bunch of his stuff. Like there's just certain coaches, you know, I'll follow certain people. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way and read like every book that every like coach puts out, or like motivational stuff, or like, you know, just money they're trying to bring in and stuff. But there's definitely certain people that I feel that I'll gravitate a little bit more towards, and maybe people that don't do it, you know, by the book or, you know, is the norm, but they're a unique individual, but they're genuine, but kind of weird in their own way. And I like those. Kick is up. Dicka is good. 21-16 Buffalo. The Pirate. And he had a kind of a different, I mean, his personality was pretty much the same everywhere he went. But I think like you were able to be more competitive with him. And he didn't have like the same kind of aura as like a Chip Kelly, where you felt it was like a Nick Saban vibe. Like essentially, if you clone Nick Saban with a vibe and aura and you gave it to another coach, that's what we had with Chip for like 4 years. We literally had the second best guy, you know, that was like him, but on the other side of the country. And then it's not going to be like that ever again. But we're trying right now. Ta-ta. Will Rogers. Brock Purdy. It's like couldn't do it with Kaepernick. Couldn't do it. Wasn't good enough. Jimmy G wasn't good enough. Brock Purdy, good enough. Feels like when you watch Purdy, you feel more like even if you're a hater towards him, oh, he did the game manager, right? If you're a hater, just ask yourself a question. With Kaepernick, game in and game out, right? And with Garoppolo, right? And then what you've seen with Purdy this year, who do you like the best out of the three? I think most people, if you just watch the tape and you don't even know who they are, I think Purdy is very clear the best one. Kaepernick would have big games, but for him, it was like once every month. And in the NFL, you got to be better than once every 4 weeks. But when he was good, he was spectacular. He would have some amazing running and throwing games where he could combine for like 4 or 5 touchdowns. But then next game, you might get like 2 picks, 1 touchdown. Now that doesn't cut it, right? And then Jimmy G, I mean, he's the most handsome, but handsome doesn't get you Super Bowl rings, I don't think, right? So he can have any woman on planet Earth, probably any man. He can have anybody he wants. He's Jimmy Garoppolo, right? But with Brock Purdy, even the haters, whatever, like you feel like, okay, who's the guy that you believe could get you 3 touchdown passes or more right now? Like, when everyone's in their prime. I think it's clear. Kaepernick was kind of a dual, more of a running quarterback rather than a throwing quarterback, right? Jimmy was just handsome. That's it, right? Turnover machine. Sometimes had some moments, but not consistent. And then you got the Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft, Iowa State. But he's gotten better as the games have been played. Could he win a Super Bowl? We will find out. 21-16, Buffalo. Cracking. We're crack-a-lacking. I'm excited. I love it. Awesome. I mean, like I said, I get more excited for Kraken wins than Blazer wins. That must mean that I'm invested and I care, especially if I've been watching the Blazers longer. But just that NBA, man, it's like, please get better. I don't know if you ever will. I mean, it's just going to be so much easier transitioning to like everything else but you. But I mean, I will pay attention, but just like be better. First down and 10, 12:36 left in the fourth quarter. Allen to Cook. 4-yard gain. He said, give me that wide shallow cross in the empty or a wide cross and empty. And that was a little spit. And then goes in the can. Get in there and call that on two. Ready, break. Spider 2, wild banana on two, ready, break. Second down and 5, shotgun set. Allen, screen pass. Cook, he's like, look at me, I'm Thurman Thomas Jr. Flag on the play. Every time I do something good, you fucking hold. I like this guy. I've been waiting. And the funny thing is, Singletary wasn't the right one for Buffalo, but on the Texans, he's perfect for their system, and it's just a damn shame that Stroud is at, right? But that means more opportunities for him. So he might get 20 to 30 carries. And if I can get 20 to 30 carries with Devin Singletary, even if it's going against the Browns, that could be like 15 to 30 points. Spider 2 on banana. I got some decisions to make. 21-16 Buffalo. Second down and 20. Enjoy the sports season. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your friends and take care of your mental health. And remember, football is precious. Okay? We only get it for a couple months, and then we bitch and complain for 6-7 months that we wanted to watch. So watch, enjoy, hang at. Allen, look at him. He's out. You going to sack lunch me? Yeah, right. Look at that. Keeping his eyes downfield. Oh, look at me. It's me, GD 1-3. It's me, Gabe Davis, and holding again. Offensive line, fucking everything up again. Even Paisley left. She couldn't even stand it. Charger fans. Oh, it just comes out, out of the top. No notes, no paperwork, no stats written down. Just like that Big Bang Theory Sheldon Brain, except he got the physics, Dan, and the science, the formulas. Mine just like stats of everything. Everything from 5 years old until now. Boom, it's there. Open the file. 21-16, Buffalo. Human computer robot. Second down and 27. Buffalo Bills shooting themselves in the foot, fucking up. But Josh Allen is still a good player. Like I said, if Allen could just get to a point where he got consistent, he could be the best quarterback in the NFL and like run away with it. It's not like he's like, oh, I don't know, Lamar and Mahomes and Jalen. Like, if this guy just had good coaching, and had a better offensive line, you could actually be known as the best quarterback in the NFL. So one day when it happens, we shouldn't be surprised. But again, do you have the right coach now? And your supporting cast needs to get a hell of a lot of, better. You got some swaggy fucking uniforms, but you got to like live up to that Buffalo Bill reputation. The Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett, Don Beebe, Allen. He's like, I just got fucking sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. 4 Chargers, all up in his shit. Took his fucking lunch. No squeeze it. No Pop-Tarts. No kudos bars. No cookies and cream. You didn't get it. No fruit chews. No fruit by the foot. No fruit roll up. He said, get off me. I like that Allen's athletic. He's like, he can bounce off one, but not when you got 5 guys. Fucking Oreo cookie sandwich. They're all over him. Jacob, my boy. You too, dude. Go Huskies, man. I can't wait, dude. Like I said, I'm going to be treating it like as a Duck fan, like repping the Pac-12. And like I said it from even the beginning of the year, like I said, Michael Penix Jr. has been my favorite quarterback since, Johnny Football. Prior to that, Michael Vick. Like I'm very particular, when it comes to quarterbacks that I like really, really, really like. Like, am I going out of my way to like buy the jersey? I'm not necessarily saying that unless Michael Penix Jr. gets drafted by the Bucs, and then I'll be the happiest man on planet Earth. But if that doesn't happen, and sometimes it's just like a vibe, and you can take a risk with a guy that's got injuries, and sometimes they'll pan out, sometimes they won't. But one thing you can't question is that talent, and to be able to see a lefty like ball, that's my goal. Like to be able to see lefties ball in sports. I just think it's cool. There's not very many of them, and I want them to be like the best in the world. Like we deserve more Ichiros and Griffeys and Steve Youngs. Like why the fuck not? Give me some goddamn Chris Mullins for once in a while instead of all these goddamn righties. Can we go ambidextrous and we can do like both, right and left, be like a Shohei Ohtani, like in other sports. Like, get your kids to stop being lazy and be right-handed or left-handed, both, if you want to collect the bag. And that way we can do videos about you. Reflect with $1. Jacob, he's the man. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. $1, holla. Every dollar counts. I appreciate you. You're the man. Don't step in the back of the end zone. Don't be that guy. These streaming services are getting so much better at their presentation. Cool graphics, clean look, and if you have the right announcers in there, even though it's like an NBC product with Peacock and everything, but you can have a thing like a Peacock NBC exclusive broadcast, and it's just NBC. It's just you're on that other platform for the money. Presented by Walmart. Go there. You want some cheap shit? Buy it. Fuck it. Look at these divisional leaders. Hey, nothing wrong with going to like Walmart or Kmart. Shit, sometimes you go there and then you got like a sale or like some kind of digital coupon. All of a sudden you're getting like some crazy shit for like super cheap. Baltimore Ravens 11-3. I like the defense. That's my favorite part. Defense. Play action fake. Easton stick. Look at him looking like Dan Fouts. Incomplete. 3-2. Kraken with 5 minutes to go. Yeah, let me know what you want to do for the photos. Yeah, anything, man. It could be like music related, you know, like something that you like or a hobby, something you collect. I was getting into my old Hot Wheels, and I really think I might be a time traveler or something. You know, I got this like ESP. My mom's got the ESP, like, you know, something going on, right? But like all my childhood toys are like older than I am. It doesn't make any sense. And things that were not purchased like at a garage sale. You know, it was just like at the store, you know, at the time, like at the Toys R Us, at the Fred Meyer, you know, at the Kmart, you know, at the Buy Mart. It wasn't just like, oh, let me go get these like older Matchbox and Hot Wheels. Like, you know, my dad is like a collector, but it wasn't like that back then. His Dodger stuff came after, like when he saw what I was doing. And then he started like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then he just does it in a big way. Dodger collection is off the chain. Let's go Kraken. We need, what do we need for we need like what he needs the Taylor Swift in his life. Fries. I miss Electronic Fries. We had one in Oregon and they went bankrupt, but I loved that place in the early 2000s. I actually got my PlayStation 2 from Electronic Fries, and I had to wait in the middle of the night for like 5 hours. There was like 500 people in the parking lot. They had 20 PS2s, and I was number 20. And luckily, I had tried people trying to cut in front of me. That shit ain't gonna happen. You know, I stayed out there so long, and luckily, I think originally they said they were going to have 50, and then they said an hour before, oh, we only have 20. And then, I mean, there's like 500 fucking people there. So that felt good. But I'm like, oh, boom, extra controller, 2-game minimum. Man, I got memories. And I was the first one to get PlayStation like at my school. So everyone was like, and I had the 64 too. So like GoldenEye vibes, the wrestling games, like the Zelda, the Mario. I mean, like there's so many like vibes in that PlayStation 64 kind of era. I mean, hell, what my favorite throwback system right now is PS2. I got it in my fucking room. Like, I got a bunch of other stuff, but it's like I like that era of games, PS1, PS2, and I do like 64. But I feel with 64, it's like more of a party thing. Like you'd have to have the homies over, and then you'd have to like have the 4-player, and then you're playing either on a retro TV, or if you have like a setup for like a newer one, you have all the plugins. Those carry like hardcore vibes if you grew up in that era. Nice. Kroga. But just a lot of the stuff is like older. It's like valuable too, and it's like considerably older. It's like, I don't understand. Stick? Oh, it's from the New York Times. It is a tough for a sack lunch. Pow, pow, pow. Hit him with the shoulder. He said, I'm Ed Oliver. I might do something like fucking Warren Sapp, or I might stomp on you like Nadama Kung Su. He's aggressive. He's got a temper. If we're going to do Taylor Swift, though, I choose the photo. And if I choose a Taylor Swift photo, it's old school Taylor Swift with long hair because she looks prettier there. That's how we do it. I don't listen to her music, but I respect the grind. 21-16 Buffalo. Kraken 3, Ducks 2. I'm scared to look at the fantasy. And television. I like retro stuff too, like even the Sony Trinitrons. Remember those? That really heavy-ass TVs that had the side speakers and they have the cabinets. Those are worth like collectible money now, and they're heavy as shit. But a lot of that Sony stuff from like the early 2000s is like coming around now as being like that cool collectible item that you can play like the old school games on. And it's like people are going to always enjoy like, Xbox and like the PS5, and go that route. But sometimes when you can do like a throwback system, like mine is like my dream one is going to be the Sega Dreamcast. Like if I had a choice of any throwback system, I need that one, like 100%. I had one. I don't have it anymore. That's the only one I lost. Sold. Kick is up, and it's good. That's awesome on the emulator. The funny thing is, and it's like, I don't know if it's because like my first job was doing the crawdadding and like being on the water and me liking watching like Wicked Tuna and Swamp Kings and Swamp People and just watching certain programs. But man, I want to play a couple of those fucking bass like fishing tournament games, and it has like the reel, and then they got some amazing original titles on the Dreamcast, man. I need that in my life. I'm going to get Matt some photos.
How about the Detroit Lions? Dan Campbell's team is 10-4, commanding lead in the NFC North, the most balanced offense in their division. Two good running backs, lead rookie tight end. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They attack in so many different ways. They're scrappy on defense. I love this group. Staying in the NFC. How about the Philadelphia?
We're going to get good. We're going to end up winning the Big Ten sooner than later. And then if you can actually get to a point where you're the team that does it like more times than not, then recruiting is just going to be fucking ridiculous. Like at some point, you think if you keep going in the proper trajectory, you could end up being like number one in recruiting. And if you get number one in recruiting for a couple years, and if those guys hit, then it's like you're guaranteed of like another 4 or 5 years of success. Then you got to have another career recruiting year, and then you can make it to 10 years, and then the program turns around altogether. Boom shakalaka. Dan Lanning sometimes is dumb, sometimes aggressive, but if he doesn't believe in the kicker, maybe we should have all saw that sooner. But still, I don't like it going for 2 points when it's not needed. But the Huskies deserved it. But Bo Nix, you played awesome this year. Bo knows.
Get him involved late. Yeah. Handing the ball, throwing the ball. He's hard to defend. Right. Let's look at what we can expect maybe the last 7 minutes here in the next couple of days of this holiday weekend. That was the Hyundai Studio Update. Mike, let's get it back to you.
Boom. Go Ducks. The vibe is awesome. 14-7 Northwestern on Utah. Utah, I thought you were good in the Pac-12. What the fuck? It's not a good look for our conference. You're one of the top tier, top 5, top 6 name recognition. You know, you can't just be just shit in the bed. Why is that bed being shit on? 7? That's not a good look. Can we get some DeAndre Swift too? He carried my fantasy team early. RB Love. Yes. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks. Rex on Rex. Cactus Jack. DeAndre Swift. Bang, bang. I like it when you have people that can, carry the team, and sometimes it ends up being a surprise person. I don't know if I've been sending it to Matt, but I have like 10 things Ducks that I follow or that will come in my timeline. It's most of them I don't, follow them, but it just like, when you have people that like the same thing, and then if they repost a retweet, fumble, Chargers recover. Chargers might come back and win the game. Oh my. But there's some big recruits reflect. Like there's this one guy that he had like his announcement like in a church, right? And then like they made it like a gospel like jump off, and I don't know if you've seen the video, but he like picked up the Husky, like threw it away, and then it was like there's like a bunch of schools that were recruiting. USC's in there, Huskies, Ducks, and a few others. And then he ended up picking up the Duck one, right? It was kind of a vibe. And when you get players that you don't expect to get, and then all of a sudden, you keep building something like, there's always going to be transfers, and there's always going to be people that change their mind. They can commit and then commit somewhere else. We know that. But if you can get a lot of these guys to stick, I mean, programs are going to change, and sooner than later, the Pac-12 is going to be right there at the top with Michigan and Ohio State. And who knows, maybe taking over the division at some point. I mean, we just got to be able to have some consistency, and, it's going to be their division. Ohio State and Michigan's until Oregon, Washington, or USC wins the division at some point. And then, hello, we're here. That'd be kind of cool to have that moment next year, but we'll see. Matt said he's seen all the videos, all the Taylor Swifts. First down, Chargers.
That was a big missed tackle right there. I think it was Shaq Lawson.
If they were able to help them with the spot on that, I think this is the right correction. He certainly didn't get to the 21. Let's see where he got. From there, it makes sense. It's the 21, but it's darn close to the 22.
He didn't make it quite to the number because they can use all those numbers, right?
To help out, elbow down with the ball at the 22-yard line. So it's 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, 21-19, stick. He said, oh, he took a pop to the mouth. He said, punch. She's like, I'm sorry, Matt. I'm with Travis now. Please stop texting me. It's okay, Matt. So you're saying I got a chance.
What it was, but there were a lot of people moving. You had Gerald Everett moving. You had Austin Eckler in the backfield moving. And you see centers. But I think
Yeah.
it was probably
Our recruiting is just getting crazy.
Centers do that all the time.
Like when you start making program history of like doing the highest you've ever done, and if we can continue that with this landing era, and we start actually landing 4 or 5-star, oh baby, but if you start landing a lot of the 4-star, 5-star guys that normally would be going to Georgia and Bama, and then you get some of them, like, you know, boom, shakalaka, Kraken win 3-2. There we go. Kraken. We defeated the Ducks 3-2. Yes. We're always crack-a-lacking. Heck yeah. Kick is up, and it's good. Kick 22-21 Chargers. Got it. Got him. We got one. His name's Joey. This is our guy. Awesome. We might have been worried. And then we got the win. Merry Christmas. Joe Dirt laughs like Garden Diggit. Awesome. I'm glad we got that dub. Now we have no Kraken until like Wednesday. I'm sad. It's crazy when you become like a hardcore like sports fan, like how long you have to wait. The bowl stuff is like, it's like torture. How the hell am I going to be like tuned in every day of every hour of every minute, all, you know, for like 3-4 months. And then all of a sudden I got to wait a month. Like I got to wait a month. That's like 4 weeks of games. That's like 4 games I'm missing. And then you got to be like, oh, is my favorite player even going to fucking play? Tomas Tata. 22-21 Chargers. What about Matt Payton in Kansas City? Well, shit, you want me to, you know, I can hook you up, man. I'm watching Eastbound and Down, you know. It's all about me and Kenny Powers. I'll hook you up. 40, 30. Bang, bang. Dick of the kicker. Ask him. Nice. This commercial is awesome. Hey, Reflect, I was going to talk to you too about the I'm not starting Mahomes and I'm going to do Baker. And I know that you have another option, but you real feel comfortable with the matchup, right? Against the Raiders, right? It's not the greatest, but you feel comfortable enough to do Kelsey and Rice, or do Kelsey and a different player? You feel that Rice is your best option with all those guys on the bench? I'm not telling you to second guess yourself if you like that combination, but with Mahomes not being as reliable, but I guess if you're going to, who is he going to? Those two guys. and besides Pacheco stealing a little bit of points and whatnot, but I guess some of the other running backs, it's very risky. Like you rode them heavy, well, like a thoroughbred, like one of the Budweiser fucking jump offs in the commercials, right? The thoroughbreds. But sometimes you got to switch it up. Maybe go wide receiver or see what other the options are. Got to go with best players. Sometimes you go 3 running backs. Sometimes you go 3 wide receivers. You gotta figure it out. Sometimes you go 2 tight ends if you're feeling frosty. Stephon Diggs, move the chains. The Clydesdales, the Budweisers, and the Polar Bear Coca-Cola commercials, the epic stuff from the Dale Jr. era and Dale Earnhardt. Josh Allen, I'm scared to look to see at these fantasy points. Right. So that's where I'm just trying to look out for you to give you the best chance, just like look to see on the wire if there's anyone that you think that, because it might come down to, what you got right now. I guess if that's what you think. I mean, I'm not saying that it won't work. I could definitely see both guys getting 1 or 2 touchdowns, but it just, what are we going to get out of Pat? Raiders, are they going to play like good Raider football like we've seen the last couple weeks? Could the performance of Pat be a little lower than people think because the Raiders are not a good team, but the Chiefs are a good team, but sometimes struggle to look like an average team? And that's what you're getting this year. Sometimes good, sometimes average. And then if Max Crosby gets all up in Pat's shit, then what happens then? All of a sudden the Raiders get an upset or the Chiefs only win by like 3. I don't know. Incomplete. You got to think the Niners are going to be at home. So, like Ayuk could be a guy that even though the Ravens defense is tough, mostly it's going to be their guys, maybe like up front, but if you got a guy that's going to be covered by their secondary members, I think there's some wiggle room there, for plays to happen. It's not all going to be jet sweeps and reverses and Debo this, Debo that. And, you're going to get a wide variety of, run CMC and they're the Kittle a little bit, sometimes they go heavy with him, but oh, nice catch. But I would say this, if I had Ayuk, and I was looking, he's kind of like a Chris Godwin where you have a really good wide receiver 2 with like a guy that might be better Debo or like Mike Evans. But if he's getting opportunities, sometimes the 2 can be just as hot as the 1 or even hotter. So sometimes you have to recognize it's not name recognition. Sometimes it's just, okay, he might be a 2, but I mean, if they're getting 12 targets a game, fucking A, how many fucking 2s are getting that? So, and then sometimes they don't even need that many. Like you can have Gabe Davis with 8, he gets 6, scores twice, and all of a sudden he's got 27. And then you're like, I just fucked up the whole league. So I don't know. You'll have to look. 9-10-9. Chiefs are at home. You would assume that they're going to win. Last time that he got 20 points in fantasy was against the Raiders, and I'm still benching him. I'm going with Baker Mayfield against the Jags. So, I think both guys could get, 13 to 16, but who's the guy that gives me the best chance to get to 17 to 20? That's where I have to put my confidence in, How have you played in the last 6 games? Has it been pretty, or am I disgusted with what I look at? And one of them I'm pretty, feeling good, better than expected. The other one is like, man, I picked you in the 3rd round. I've barely been able to use you. I could have got somebody else. I could have got Jalen Hurts. I could have got Josh Allen. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why you look at those things. And sometimes it's like you take a risk and you put a guy in hoping they have the blow-up game, or you go with safe. And if you go with safe, you go with what's consistent in fantasy, what's true to your heart, where you feel like, okay, I have no worries. Like I feel that, yeah, and there's a bust game that could happen, but based off the flow, what trust do you have the most? And yeah, I think I would go with what you have there. If the only other option you have would be Ayuk, I think I would go with Rice and with Travis, because they're going to be the first option when he's looking that way. So, and they both have been targeted. You just need them to go off. Northwestern beat Utah. Good job representing the Pac-12. Yeah. And, I feel that they're going to go to him. So he's, becoming part of the game plan a little more. Floater, wide open. How do the Chargers give that up? Touchdown, Buffalo. Wow. I like Rice. He's the only one I like, though. But you know what? Even like other Chiefs fans, like Chief will Chief, and I'll have like real talk sessions with like fans that are like hardcore, but some of the shit can be tough to like stomach. Like when you've been the best in the world, and then all of a sudden, right, like you're not as good. It is a slap in the face when you got someone as good as like Andy Reid and Mahomes and Kelsey, right? But even as good as Rice has been as the one, even Rice himself is dropping like a pass a game that he shouldn't. So it's like, I like you, but there needs to be like a Mike Evans there also, or to draft like, Rome Odunze, Troy Franklin, and get a free agent to come over as well and revamp that motherfucker. And if you can do that, then we're not going to be talking, about the Bieniemy loss or Juju not being there, and actually having guys that are more reliable. Kadarius Toney, bye-bye. Sky Moore, maybe more towards special teams. And then you just try to get better players in there. MVS, you're not good enough. Sky Moore, you're not good enough. Kadarius Toney, he shouldn't even be on the team. Terrible. Like no upside, only there's frustration, and it's like there's a reason why the Giants got rid of him. And it's one thing if you're him, or if you're like George Pickens. George Pickens, this guy's drama. He won't even block for fucking anybody. Like, it can't be Jalen, can't be Najee, whatever. I don't want to get rolled up like Tank Dell. Then he goes off with Mason Rudolph for like almost 200 yards, and everyone's like, I forgive you because you did good and we won. Ryan with a tenor. He says, I do not want you to eat air for dinner. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Don't eat air for dinner. Bang, bang. Do you want me to show the jersey, the Herbert gift that you got? Would you like me to put that? Josh Allen with 24.78 points. I mean, Jesus Christ. But I guess he is the number one quarterback in fantasy, so I should be expecting that. Not JT in the building, always being a JT. 83, 17 to go. Not eating air for dinner is good. Appreciate you, Ryan. I like the old school times too. The Stan Humphries, the Marion Butts, like old school times, old school players. Rodney was amazing. Junior was amazing. It's just like the Chargers in that Super Bowl year, like you just ran into the fucking Niners, like the best team in the world. Like if it was like anybody but them, Chargers maybe would have been able to, be a hell of a lot closer, and it would have been a different vibe. But, that type of era, you're led by some fucking goats like Montanas and Aikmans and, even the guys that weren't top tier, like Jim Kelly, Boomer Esiason, like compared to like guys playing now, they were incredible. Like you weren't even like a top 5 quarterback, but you were just like, Jesus Christ, you're like kind of fucking good. Like you might not be popular, but like if people remember that time, I mean, hell, if the Bengals had a little bit more support for Boomer, we're talking about the Bengals today and not the Niners. I mean, losing 2 to Joe Montana could have changed everything if they would have won those. Everyone's doing the Icky Shuffle. We're not talking about Montana and Rice. We're talking about Icky Shuffle. Icky Woods. He said, put up my boy. He said, put it up. He's riding dirty. Riding dirty. Yeah, very cool. All right, hold on. I have to format. I got to format that shit. Boom. Yeah, I like it. He seems happy. He's a happy guy. All right, hold up. Boom, 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 boom. Got to send him here. Got to format him here. Technology fucking here. Technology there. Let's see. Boom. Very cool. I would rock that. And very cool. Riding dirty at an early age. Already has his license.
But this team has been so close so often. Within 3 points. 0-5 this year. Approaching the 1994 Houston Oilers.
All right. Where the hell is this at? Yo. Let's look. Oh, here we go. Boom. He said Herbert jersey, and if you don't think it's real, I'll keep the tag in the front. Fuck you. Look at my new jersey. It's real. I like it. It's a swaggy jersey, man. The blue one, the white one. And, Herbert, and I was just blessed enough to actually see him in Eugene. Like, I even had, seats at a game or two where I was in the front row behind the duck bench, and being able to see Herbert that close, hear him talk, hear the coaches. It was like unbelievable. Unbelievable. That jersey, unbelievable. I like it. This is his son who's riding dirty already. How many speeding tickets this guy got? 3? Get out of the vehicle, sir. Look at it. He's drinking an energy drink, Monster. So he's all hyped up. Look at that. Wendy's, lemonade, and a Monster. Look at bottle, done. I'm riding dirty. No, I will not give you my license or my insurance and registration. He looks happy. He said, I got to send it back. I need it stitched. Costs more money, though. I mean, it just depends. Is it worth it? It depends on where your money's at. I mean, of course, if you got the extra bread, get the sewn. Because once you get the sewn, it feels different. When you wear sewn jerseys compared to screen print, it makes you feel a different way. You go from being a normal human to like a person that is like not like a superhuman, but like the swagger level goes on another level when you have a jersey that's sewn or you have like a Mitchell and Ness. Like it's just, can't describe it. It's like you either understand when you have one on, and then it's like when you got a screen print, even if it's like authentic throwback, like unless we're talking, champion fucking jersey from my childhood, like Alonzo Mourning or Penny Hardaway or fucking Allen Iverson rookie one that I have, like shit like that. But I don't know, man. That's sewn though. And then it's just like the quality sewn everywhere. So many like patches on the arm, the numbers. It's all like, you feel like $1 million, man. 22-21 Chargers. Nike Vapors. Christmas has begun. Go Kraken. Bass. Kick is up. Kick is good. Is there a flag on the play? And this there is. On the Chargers. Go Kraken. Yeah, there's like different levels of the jerseys now. So it's like you can get the screen print, which is drastically improved from like the Reebok days when I used to buy them, where sometimes it was screen print and it had like the mesh. So it's like the numbers like were see-through and it wasn't, not like a full complete jersey, like you could see through it. Sometimes like the older ones in the late 90s, early 2000s didn't even have the NFL shield that was stitched underneath the chin. So it's like things have come a long ways, but yeah, if you can get like and then the second tier one usually runs like 150 to 190, and then that one has numbers and the shoulders and the patches sewn, and then you get like the elite one, and then the elite one for the NFL is like $300-400 through like NFL Shop, and then that's like the closest thing that they wear on the field, which is typically like a Mitchell and Ness. And that's why Mitchell and Nesses typically go for 250 to like 800, because you're getting the stitching quality and the thickness and the vibe and the swag and the expensive material to feel like $1 million. And it changes you. You literally turn into the throwback person. I swear to God. Like I had a Mitchell and Ness Larry Bird that I had on the market, got a good deal on it. Of course, I fucking tried it on. I'm like, I got to try this bitch on. And when you put on a Larry Bird throwback Mitchell and Ness, it's like weighs as much as wearing like 4 or 5 regular jerseys, if you can imagine that. And then I just I don't know. I just felt like Larry Bird, like unstoppable. It was crazy. Larry Bird, legend. The Hick from French Lick, my boy, 24-22 Buffalo. Easton Stick trying to play like Herbert. Oh, it's from the New York Times. It is the full Sacklage. Buffalo Bills. Yum, 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 yum. We're hot. We're hot. It's me, Ed Oliver. Sometimes I'm Warren Sapp. Sometimes I'm Nadal Kong Su. I'm going to stomp on you. Easton Stick says, fuck the clock. I'm the hero, bitch. Tipped. Picked. How do you leave 1 second? I'm the Buffalo Bills, and what happened to my hands? How do you not pick that off? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Kraken win, Kraken win, Kraken win. 1 second left. Ed Oliver playing like a Warren Sapp. Aaron Donald out there. He was great in college. Sometimes it takes a while for guys to like blossom or mature or to stay injury-free. 1 second left. Timeout. What a good game. And the Bills were favored to win by 12 and a half. Think about all the money that they just won by boosting the Bills, knowing the Chargers were going to win or keep it close. And then they're like, oh, I got all the monies. You guys just got fucked over. Nice job. You find a way to pay your mortgage, buddy. No car note. No shopping spree. No dispensary visit. Can't go to the bar. Can't go to the liquor store. Not ruined. Gotta be careful betting these games. Sometimes that for sure thing with the spread or with the Bengals, and you're like, uh-oh. Nobody gets presents. You guys got to wait till December 26th. And I'll place another bet. 24-22. 1 second left. Miracle play. Ryan Warren is praying. Stick. Hook and ladder. Flippity flip. Frank Wycheck on the other side. We're going the wrong way. Oh, the illegal. Final score. Buffalo Bills 24. Chargers 22. What else do you guys want to see for photos? Hang out for a couple minutes, and then I got to go take a 45-minute walk in the dark with the dog and have fun and look at everyone's Christmas decorations. And then I got to watch some Eastbound and Down. Will Ferrell, funny. People in the show, funny. Bills by the skin of their teeth. We need 17 to go. I'm scared to see what the fantasy numbers look like. All right, what does it look like? He got 24.98, but -5 in defense and 3 as a kicker. So I'll take that. You're the number one quarterback, and you got 24.98, not 44.98, and I cry. So now I feel okay. I'm in a good position right now. 265 for him, 279.5 for me projected. So I'm still projected. And then for you guys, it's a 1 point difference. Cook only got 5 points. Look at you. You're like, I want Kyron to get 30. Cook might get 30. And then all of a sudden he gets 5 and you get 16.4. Now it's 50-50. Who's going to win? Just like that. See how that works? Reflect. Boom, shakalaka. Projected to lose by 12. All of a sudden he plays one guy, has a shitty game. Boo. Here I come. That's how it went. Something like that. not only have a chance, favored. Better players. I know when people look at my shit, they're like, okay, motherfucker's got Josh Allen, number 1 quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, number 1 running back, and Pacheco. And I'm going with Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, and Devin Singletary. But if I outscore them, that's, sometimes it's not about name recognition. It's just about the matchup. And then I have to pray to the sports gods that they please maybe make it happen. But if I do 3 players on the Bucks, 3 on the Lions, that's too risky. Like 6 players out of 9, I've never seen anyone do that and win. So that would be like, and it's like, I think that, you could have 5 out of the 6 do good, but it's like it's at Minnesota, not in Detroit. So if it was in Detroit, maybe I do it. But since it's on the road, I can't do it. So I have to either make a decision to go with 10 to 12 points guaranteed with David Montgomery as being the RB2 to Gibbs, or do I take a chance with Connor or Singletary and pray that I get 20 and then I just go off, and I just, since he had a shitty kicking experience and defense, I have the flexibility to bench Montgomery, even though that's my guy with Rashad White, just because the role has changed with Gibbs, and I can go with a take a chance kind of guy where if I get fucked, it's going to be 6 points, but if I boom, it's 20. And I want to look like a genius. I want to look like that motherfucker, the sports gods, alien, me, I look at shit real closely, but I also look like who has the best chance to get me 20 and have they got 20 recently? And if I see a guy that's gotten 19 or 23 times out of the last like 5 or 6, and maybe I can roll the dice. So Singletary, even though Cleveland D is tough, I will go with you, I think. What other photos do we want to see? Now he's not even like being coy about it or shy. He's like, give me the Swift. Golly. So I get it. He said, I need that. You like her because she's worth billions of dollars, or do you like her music, or you think she's pretty, or all the above? He's like, it's the $1 billion part. Some food. Good. Let's do that. Do that for a couple minutes. Good choice. Buffalo Bills, good job. 24-22. You give us some hope and belief that like you can make things fun in the playoffs, and you might be able to upset somebody's favorite team or teams. Chevrolet post game.
The Buffalo Bills, Southern California, head back to Western New York with a 2-point win in a wild one where they get a late second field goal.
That's what we're looking at.
Easton City quarterback filling in for Justin Herbert played well. Chargers played well as a team. Buffalo gets it done. Keeps control of its playoff path. Josh Allen big with Gabe Davis tonight, and Ed Oliver shut it down at the end. Our Chevrolet players of the game, and the offensive duo standing by with Melissa Scott.
So much back and forth in this game. First of all, we have some gifts for you guys. We want you to open them. I bet you can't tell what they are.
New iPhone?
Open it up. Tell us what's in there. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Congratulations, because this one was hard fought. So much back and forth. How nerve-wracking was this one tonight, John?
They're like, we got you a present, a ball that you're going to throw away, give away to a kid.
Coming up clutch on third downs in that last drive. T-Bass putting up to the uprights. And then Oliver finishing the game with a sack. That essentially ended the game. So, came out. Wish we would have played a little bit better, but it don't matter. We got to do it.
And Gabe, you didn't get to catch it 3 of the last 4 games. You had a huge night tonight. What was working for you?
Just kept doing my job the best way I know how, Things aren't going to go your way all the time, but that's life. You just got to be able to tackle when adversity strikes, and that's what we're going to do.
Where do you think this team is at this point in the season as you're making this playoff push?
We're starting to figure out our identity and playing some good football. Obviously, this is a great game against a great team. We knew they were going to come out here and fight hard, and that's what they did.
Josh, the mindset of the team, I mean, these last 2 games, obviously critical as you make this playoff.
Boom shakalaka, Taco Tower. Looks amazing. But Paisley misses the daddy. So I gotta take care of her. I gotta go on this third walk of the day. I got some more eastbound and down and reading and other things to do. And then we're gonna grind it out again tomorrow. And then let me look at the schedule. what we got going on here before I go.
Indianapolis and Houston play each other. That's why 14 control for the 3 wild card spots. But the Bills are very much alive for the AFC.
The AFC NFC structure is very interesting to see how it all plays out.
And Buffalo wins the next 2. And Buffalo Miami week 18 is for the division. Only one Miami.
You never know what we're gonna see. The deliciousness. Could be food. Could be Swift. Could be football.
The story in the AFC is a full slate on Christmas Eve. It's some games on Christmas. Yeah. 'Tis the season for streaming on Peacock. Get in the spirit with Hallmark's Countdown to Christmas. Watch the holiday movies every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 8 Eastern Time. And then keep the joy going with.
Let me see. A couple more photos. Got to exercise. When you can get addicted to like good things in your life, like exercise, and you do see results and you feel like so much better. Paisley, she is a godsend.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk Packers Vikings on New Year's Eve. All right. And I've got a gift for Chris for Christmas after this.
Boom.
Mike Rich is the most fun you'll have this holiday season.
No way we're landing. Do it now, or we leave without you. Okay.
I got like one more. It's a vibe. I've been thinking about it, but there's others, but let's go, baby. Sometimes nachos, like a really good one, like you feel good for like a week. You're like, oh, this is good. I like get that vibe sometimes, like spaghetti, leftovers. You'll have a vibe moment. Looks good. Well, I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you to everyone that donated, commented, shared. I appreciate you very much. Odin's son, Ryan, all the goats, Reflect, Matt and Sarah doing a fantastic job. And I appreciate you guys. Final score, Buffalo Bills 24, Chargers 22. And then tomorrow, there's some intriguing matchups. And what are we looking at? What is it? Is it New England, Denver? Is that what it is? Should be Dallas, Miami. That would be more fun to do. New England, Denver. 2 games on Monday, 3 games on Monday. So I guess we'll figure out what we're going to do. I mean, I would rather do, I guess it just depends. Like, we probably would have, I don't know about the turnout about, that type of matchup, New England and Denver. That is, watching New England's tough. Let's just be honest. Denver has been more watchable as of late, but even if we get less support, doing the Dolphins and the Cowboys would be a hell of a lot more interesting than that matchup. If I'm choosing a game for tomorrow, even if it would be like 4 hours earlier, I would rather do the 5 o'clock time slot than 1:25, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. I can always do reaction videos instead, or we can do one single stream and then some reaction videos. I guess it just depends on what I want to do. But the best one to me looks like Dallas, Miami, where if you're not biased and you're just not a fucking hater and you're just wanting to watch good football, you might be able to get some fucking really fun shit that happens there. 10-4. Right? Dak versus Tua. I don't know. Fucking sign me up, right? Kind of sounds cool. I don't know. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, or just doing reaction videos, but we'll figure it out. But I'll message things on the community board on my socials, and we'll figure out what we're doing tomorrow. But I appreciate everyone that donated, commented, shared. Shout out to all the people on Twitter/X that watch, as well as the people here on the tube. You guys are awesome. NFC, AFC playoff structure is going to be crazy. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Final score, Buffalo Bills 24, Chargers 22. You guys are the best. I love you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. You guys are great. Enjoy your Saturday night. Watch some good TV And me and Paisley are going to go on an adventure. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. NFL is the best. And I'm out. Gang.
Merry Christmas. First off, I have to say, this is a free gift.